kicking through the door. Loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the bug with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two dumb Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Aloha, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the Two Dumb Yinzers. This is episode 960. Welcome back, everybody. Glad to see us today. This is the Thursday installment of the Two Dumb Yinzers. We're glad to be back. Lots of things going on. As a matter of fact, as I woke up this morning, I'm getting the news. Of course, Aaron Rodgers is going to be flying to Pittsburgh today to be with the Steelers tomorrow as rookie camp starts up here in Pittsburgh tomorrow throughout the weekend. So we do have some big news going on. Aaron Rodgers is on his way, just in case anybody was still concerned what was going on with our quarterback situation. It's looking like it will be a 43-year-old quarterback throughout the course of the season. Will be back with the Steelers. However, it has not been confirmed. But if you're going to read the writing on the wall, it sure looks like it as Mr. Rodgers makes his way back to Pittsburgh. Again, flying in today, due to talk to the Steelers tomorrow as the Steelers start off rookie camp. So this is what it almost seems like that. It fell right into place, almost like the coaches or management or somebody might have known what was going on, believe it or not. But there you go. Rodgers is flying into town today to meet with the Steelers tomorrow. So maybe we could at least stop worrying about the quarterbacks for right now. I mean, he comes out in week 1 and gets hurt for the season, then we have a whole new conversation and a whole new problem. However, that's not the case right now. He is on his way to town to talk with the Steelers tomorrow. Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, wherever you be. Welcome to the show again. It's episode 960, 40 short episodes away from the big 1,000 coming up this summer. We cannot wait. It'll be right along the time of our 5-year anniversary of the show. So I do want to thank everybody for hanging out with us, keeping this thing going and showing us your support. It's been a great ride. 960 has gone faster than I would have thought it would have. But here we are back today again, Thursday, May 7th. Mike, before I go on with my May 7th, how are you, man?
I'm doing great, brother. I felt a disturbance in the force that Aaron Rodgers was flying the Ayahuasca Express into Pittsburgh. So Vanilla Thunder had to be here today, boys, for the either the joyous or the tragic news, depending on where you fall in this debate.
Are you implying, Mike, that he's not flying here by airplane? He's flying here by way of ayahuasca?
I am implying that he is flying here via ayahuasca. I think he is on a spiritual plane, not a physical plane. He will be here. you know, I was down at Sheets, man. Ready to fight a paper towel dispenser, and a little voice, little birdie, told me, "Hey, brother, the season's going to be a-okay."
Tortilla saying he's flying via Spirit Airlines.
R.I.P.
Welcome back, everybody. Glad to see us today. Today is Thursday, working our way to the weekend. Yes, of course, the big news today, Aaron Rodgers will be flying, we assume by airplane, to Pittsburgh today to talk with the Steelers tomorrow. Let me grab RB real quick. RB, our man on the board, he says this: I only beat up local media by an hour. He did. I got to be honest with you. RB was on the horn bright and early. I'm looking through all the stories, figuring out what the conversations and topics will be today. And RB was bright and early with this news. So got to give him his props on that, as he always has the lead on the big stories. Thank you for that, RB, my man. Before we do get into sports, Mike, there's not a lot besides our Steelers going on, and I'm fine with that because, again, it's always about the Steelers. We got a lot going on heading into the weekend. We'll touch on all that tomorrow. But today, the big news is the Steelers. But before I want to do that, I want to give a big round of respect. I really do. Some people might think some of the things we did and we said on Tuesday, it was all a celebration of Mexico. It really was. I got a little bit of feedback, and it wasn't bad feedback. It was just, well, what if people? And this thing, I hate worrying about what people are going to think because I don't care. I'm doing a show, and it's going to be what it is. But at the end of the day, I want to give mad respect to our Mexican friends, guys. We were not shitting on. It was paying homage to the Mexican, Mike. And I do want to say this: I have something, a little bit of something to smooth it over, if you will. We all know that when you celebrate Cinco de Mayo, you eat lots of tacos and you drink lots of beer. So, Mike, this is from the day after Cinco de Mayo, showing a little bit of homage to our friends, the Mexicans. Yes, there you go, baby. We love you, Mexico. You know this. You are our second favorite country, the Mexicans. Everybody, Mike. I thought our Cinco de Mayo celebration went well on Tuesday, but again, one of my Debbie Downer friends gets a hold of me. What are you saying? It was fun. It was all in good fun. Again, everyone knows we love our Mexicans, Mike, and I am the Mexican whisperer. So no problems here. Time to move on and time to get into Pittsburgh sports, where it always counts, Mike. Pittsburgh in the house all day, black and gold. Let me get on a touch on a couple interesting things real quick before we do get into these Steelers stories, Mike, because we do have one Pirate game that did happen in the meantime. Of course, between yesterday and today, I thought I had information here. I should have had information here. Wherever my information went, I'm going to be. The fucked up thing is I had the information here. Where could it have possibly gone?
I know, brother. I maybe one of the.
Oh, I found it.
I was gonna say maybe it's the stink bug that haunts you during the summer arrived early and stole your shit.
Pirates win 1-0, Mike. 1-0. Again, another shutout for the Buccos. We know with this Pirates pitching staff, and there was going to be a lot. Last year they had over 30. They were involved within 30, losing some and winning some, of course, on the shutouts. Mike, they beat Arizona 1-0 last night to tie the series up. The rubber matches today at 3:45. Watch the Pirates at the Diamondbacks in Game 3, 3:45 today. Mitch Keller on the hill against the Diamondbacks, hoping to win this series, then off to San Francisco for 3, and then back home. So Buccos could keep going, Mike. But here are some interesting numbers, and I think even some of you guys that aren't necessarily Pirate fans, I think you'll be kind of blown away by some of these numbers, Mike. Listen to this. People are often talking about how good the Pirates division is in baseball. Nobody in the division is below 500. That's the only division where that is the case. Every other division has teams, multiple teams, as a matter of fact, under 500. In one-run games, or in shutout games, the Pirates are 5-4. They have 9 games by way of shutout, either win or loss, Mike, in the first quarter of the season. That means it'll roughly finish around 36 if you're going by average, which is right around where they finished last year. So that was a topic last year. Like after 37 games, they are 5-4 in shutouts. Also, every division has at least 2 teams under 500 in it, except for, again, the Pirates. No team in the Pirates or under Pirates division, the NL Central, is under 500. Every single division in the majors has at least 2 teams that are under 500, and 3 of them, 4 of the divisions, 3 or 4 of the divisions, Mike, they have another team, a third team under 500. So that's pretty incredible in itself. Here's a couple more ways to look at this. The Cleveland Guardians, Derpy's favorite team, Mike, if they were in our division, they're in first place in their division. If they were in our division, they'd be a game and a half behind the last place team.
Whew.
See what I'm saying? This is just how crazy this is playing out. Mike, they're in first place in their division. If they were in ours, they would be a game and a half out of last place.
Who would have thought the NL Central would be the stacked division of Major League Baseball? It figures a year when we are finally being competitive, brother. The rest of the division decides, you know what, I think we're going to be competitive as well. And like the last year, like St. Louis was the drizzling shits. Now, they're competitive. The Reds are once again a thorn in our sides. Can the Buccos catch a break? But you know what? This team is being really battle tested, and it's going to serve them well down the stretch, I believe.
Well, they got a long ways to go. As I said, Mike, Saturday is going to mark the quarter point of the season, which is unbelievable in itself. But here's a couple other things, Mike. Only 2 American League teams. Are you ready for this? Mm-hmm. Only 2 American League teams are above 500.
Ooh, damn, Noggy. 2
of their division leaders, Mike, are at 500. The Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays are both the only 2 teams they are above 500 in the American League. Like 8 National League teams are above 500. So a total of 10 out of 30 teams in the majors are better than 500. So there you go. We're in the top third, which is nice. I like it. I don't care if they have us at 7, 8, whatever it is, because just hearing the Pirates are in the top third is very encouraging, Mike. But again, 2 AL teams over 500.
That's a sorry ass league right there.
I do think that is it. With all that, Mike, the best team in the league is the Cubs, who was on feels like a 100-game winning streak. They were on a huge winning streak and then they lost. Now they're on another huge winning streak, winning like 8 in a row or something like this. Mike, but the tire hits the road today. Buccos back at it, trying to win the series with Arizona. And we'll see how that plays out at 345. Oh, and the worst team in the league is the Mets. The Mets are the worst. The Cubs are the best. And that's how it looks in the major leagues. Good afternoon. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Great to see us today. Time to get back to it. Of course, the big news is about a 42-year-old man. Believe it or not. No, not Mike. He's a little older than that. But, of course, our potential quarterback. We don't have a definitive answer as of yet. However, we do know that he's flying into town today to meet with the Steelers tomorrow. I can't imagine that's to tell him that he's not interested. So there you go, guys. Aaron Rodgers on his way to town today. RB breaking the scoop early this morning, about an hour before it was released to the media. We always appreciate the contributions and everything of such from our RB. We love RB. Glad. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Nice to see everybody back today. Mike, let me get on the board. Anything before I jump back on the board here? Good?
I'm good.
All right, let's do it. End of days. He leads off, if you will. End of days, go Steelers. We're going to the Super Bowl. That's right, baby. We'll take it. We will certainly take it. Good afternoon to you. End of days. Great seeing you as always. Let's go over to Tortilla all the way from Sacramento, California. Tortilla Jackson in the house. He said, I don't care what anyone says. We got good news today. I agree with you, brother. And that's where I was. If it was a go, it's all good. If it wasn't a go, you know what we're going to do. I couldn't find it in myself to be too down by everything, but there you go. Having some answers. Again, just the day before rookie camp, they're flying in, so the answers should be definite one way or another throughout this weekend. We'll certainly be keeping a close eye on everything today. I do want to say a big welcome to Andy Palmer, a brand new name I see on the Terrible Board. Welcome, Andy. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Terrible Board. We're glad to have you here. Jump on and participate, ask any questions, anything you want to talk about, brother. Welcome to the Terrible Board. Let me move on to the original Yinzer Joe. That's right, baby. Always great seeing Yinzer Joe in the house. My man Yinzer Joe says this. Yay, here we go. AA Rod signing this weekend. Let's go. That's right, baby. As I said, Mike, unless this is a crazy episode of Punked, I don't see it going any other way. It appears that Aaron Rodgers is on his way to town to handle business, Mike, this weekend with the Steelers.
Be nice to get ink on paper. Let's just get this saga over and done with, so we can just go in knowing the biggest battle of camp is who's going to be quarterback number 2.
Yes,
that should be right there. That should be it. And then the battle between the two youngsters to see who's developing faster.
I couldn't agree more. We do say welcome to you, Andy. Andy says he's a Steeler fan. We do welcome you to the show. This is the show where every voice in Steeler Nation is heard. So do feel free to participate on the Terrible Board all day. We're here for a couple more hours, so hang out. You got questions? Stick around. Great seeing Andy. Welcome to you, sir. Let's scoot up here a little bit. I'm going to go to Just Learning. He said, hey, bros, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Just Learning in the house. I know that Just Learning is getting a little bit excited. We got some news this morning for the Steelers, just as also Tortilla and Carl and Robbie and everybody else on the board. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Welcome to you. I'm going to go back to Tortilla today where he says this. Tortilla says, Aaron got word about the Arizona BS and he got his jet ready ASAP. That was a joke, but apparently the Steelers didn't even know Rodgers was on his way. You know what? I don't. And the funny thing is, I don't believe that a bit. I kind of found it might put it in my head about 4 or 5 weeks ago, maybe a little bit less, that the Steelers, the management probably knew what was going on. Coach McCarthy probably knew what was going on. Ultimately, I think somebody knew what was going on. And I heard this as well, that the Steelers didn't even know he was coming. But at the end of the day, did they not? I don't know. That's up for interpretation. But you know what? To me, it sure seems very unprofessional in a multi-billion-dollar business for these kind of things. Where, you know what, grabbing attention is not a bad thing for business as well. So as long as people are talking about football, as long as people are talking about the Steelers, as long as people are talking about Aaron Rodgers throughout the offseason, Mike, it benefits the league. So at the end of the day, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what the hell happened? Who knows if I'll even ever say? But you know what? It kept the NFL motor going throughout the offseason. Certainly, here we are almost going into mid-May next month. Next week, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like we've been talking about Aaron Rodgers since the end of the offseason. The rest of the local media has been talking about Aaron Rodgers since the end of the offseason or the end of the season. The entire NFL media has been talking about Aaron Rodgers. So Come on now. You knew this was going to be the big story of the offseason. Because why not? A 4-time league MVP? Is he going to come back to one of the most storied franchises of the NFL? How can we spin this to a negative? How can we spin this to a positive? How can we drag this news cycle out over and over and over again? And then, it finally reached its end and everyone's like, oh, okay. But is it really going to happen now? Why would he be flying to Pittsburgh if you're not going to put pen to paper? You negotiate over the phone. You come in and you sign the contract.
Right. I couldn't agree.
It's kind of like playing out like we kind of had a feeling it would be here all along on the show.
You're right. And you have to play the game. You have to speculate. You have to go get on the merry-go-round and consider all the stories. Again, I mean, that's kind of what we do. It's why we're here to talk about the Steelers.
Yeah.
But ultimately, and again, I was pissed at first. I said, "What? Come on, this is business. This is actual real work, and we should be a little bit more." Let's show a little bit more integrity, and that's kind of where I was pissed at first. But then, as I said, you kind of talked me into it. He's like, "There's no way that somebody doesn't know something," and I couldn't agree with you more, Mike. I think somebody did, but again, that is not the point anymore. The point is, Aaron Rodgers is on his way to town to talk with the Steelers tomorrow and throughout the weekend. A lot of speculation that he's going to sign back with the Steelers to come back. Mike, he'll be 43 as the playoffs start this season.
43 and in prime shape to lead us to Super Bowl 7, brother. Him and Jennings Dunker. I mean, you get some ayahuasca in that hair, you mold it just right. He's going to ride on the back of Dunker like a magical pony.
And here's the thing too, Mike. Him and Dunker are probably going to be pretty close because Dunker's going to be protecting his ass, and you know that Aaron Rodgers. I forget what he bought everybody last year was ATVs or something like this on Christmas. So him and Dunker, I'm sure will become good friends as long as Dunker keeps him off the ground, which I think we could all agree with. Let's move on the board though. I do want to say what's up to Robbie the head for Robbie Hedford. I think I'm just going to go with that for now. He says Rodgers won't last the season. You know what? That's what some people were saying, but you know what? That's what some people said last year, and he ended up going to take the loss out from Chicago because he was out. He went 10-6 last year, took the team to the Super Bowl that had many problems. Speaking of no wide receivers. The left-hand side of the offensive line awfully shaky, and a bunch of others. So again, you know, we are used to the talk here in Pittsburgh. We're used to everyone telling us that things are not going to be as good as they usually are. But obviously, people don't see the writing on the wall in the NFL and how things play out. Like the Pittsburgh Steelers, given just a 11% chance to win the AFC North this year. The Baltimore Ravens, of course, as they were last year. They were picked to win the division by 52%. You see how that went last year. Then the Bengals at 32%, Steelers at 11%, and they're giving the Cleveland Browns, surprise, that measly 8% chance to win, which I think is way too high, to be honest with you. If you've ever watched football in your life. But at the end of the day, Mike, they always tell us that it's not going to be good. They always tell us that we're going to finish lower than we do. They told us last year we were going to be the last place team in the AFC. And who was the AFC team that was in the playoffs? It was the team that everybody said with the grandpa quarterback and no wide receivers and this and that. And I do believe Mike, things have improved in this offseason. Yeah, good.
But this happened to Baltimore. But that happened to Cincinnati.
Right.
But that happened to Cleveland.
Like the Steelers had a great situation going on.
Anytime the Steelers or anything good happens for them, there's but. If one of these teams wins because someone else has major injuries, or it's that's just part of football, brother. But when the Steelers do it,
exactly,
like the Steelers, lost Ben Roethlisberger for an entire year and ended up with a 500 record with Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph. Maybe have better coaching, maybe have better players, maybe have a game plan in place for if your star quarterback goes down. Just a thought. Well, it's not the Steelers' fault. They always have backup plans and know how to win.
And the thing was, we didn't have the backup plan. We failed terribly, and we still managed to fall in the first place. As again, the Ravens were predicted to do great things. Yep. Like again, 52% they are being guessed to say that this will be the team that wins the division. You know what? I have no problem with this anymore because again, I'm a 23-year-old man, and my whole entire life I've noticed that the media always does this to the Steelers. So again, this is just more of the same for me. Nobody pays attention much to the national media here in Pittsburgh. I certainly don't for a lot of things. But let's get back on the terrible board. Great to see everybody today. Welcome back. This is Thursday, heading into the weekend, guys. Tomorrow starts rookie camp here in the Berg as Aaron Rodgers. That's right, Aaron Rodgers. If you live under a rock, I'm going to just let you know real quick. Aaron Rodgers is flying into town today to meet with the Steelers tomorrow or throughout the weekend. It seems that contract will be signed. Also, it does seem like the Aaron's going to want to have a look at maybe some of these rookies, some of the guys that might be blocking his backside, maybe being his targets downfield. Mike also in town. So again, Aaron on his way to Pittsburgh today from Santa Clara, California, apparently.
Hey, like I said, man, he is coming in on the Ayahuasca Express, baby. Let's just get this over and done with, baby. He's the last piece of this puzzle.
I agree. Let's go right here to, I don't know where I want to go. Right here, Carl. What's up, dude? Great seeing Carl back in the house. Welcome. Great having you on the terrible board. As always, he says Aaron Rodgers left a car in the Berg, so he has a car when he gets there, period. Alan Saunders. There you go. He probably has his stash hidden somewhere too. If you see him lurking around behind the Motel 6, you know what he's up to.
He comes out, he hits a button, and it pops out like a Batmobile out of nowhere. He's like James Bond.
He is like James Bond. Let's go right here. Let's go to Ty. My man, Tyrone. What is up, brother? Always great seeing the GOAT, Tyrone, in the house. He says this. Tyrone says, A-Rod coming to town. 7 on the way, baby. I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. Not on the part that I think he's coming. Yes, I do think he's coming. I think he'll be the quarterback of the team this year. But I hope you're right with getting that 7 this year. And you know what? Why not us? Why not us? I think that we did some things in this offseason that you're going to have a whole different. You're going to be looking at a different Steeler team. No two ways about that. No two ways about it. That's not even a speculation. Coming with a whole entire new coaching staff. Word of going to a West Coast offense. Coach Graham on defense has a lot of things working in play for the defense. Like, it's very exciting, very exciting. And I just know that this is May. In July, we're gonna have camp. 2 months from now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be at camp in Latrobe. And we're all going to be going up and a little over 2 months away.
It'll be going up. We're going to be hearing pads popping, helmets are crackling. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. I want to get a good look at the rookies up there, get a good look at the young quarterbacks too in drills. I think that's going to be the key there, seeing how those two youngins work and take a look at some of the young guys too. I want to take a look at Jeremy Bernard, man. I want to take a look at the virus.
Yeah, what a time to give Jeremy.
I know, right? Poor guy comes here. Next thing you know, hantavirus is taking over the league.
Jeremy didn't go on that yacht, did he? The cruise ship.
I hope not. I hope not, man. Because if he did, there goes the season.
Let's go to Tortilla. He says, LOL, Spirit Airlines. Tyrone, the GOAT, says JPJ to GOAT. RB says he only beat the media by an hour this morning, and it's true. I could contest to that, Mike. Again, an hour before anything was broken, RB was on the horn getting us this news about Aaron today. Also, Just Learning. What's up? Always great seeing Just Learning. He says this, Mike. I can't believe that Just Learning says this. He says that Aaron Rodgers has a fake wife.
The evidence points towards him being correct.
Where's that magic 8 ball at anyway? All signs.
My nose.
All signs point to yes. All signs point to no. We need something like this around here. I still do have my crystal ball here, but we need one of those magic 8 balls.
We do. We got to find one.
Tortilla says Cody got offended over the Cinco de Mayo episode. I thought that Cody enjoyed it more than anybody. I really do. Cody gets into shit. And again, lots of fun on Tuesday. Hope everybody had a safe Cinco de Mayo. Isaac. Let's go to the Isaac. Welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show. Welcome to the terrible board. He says, well, he has no choice. OTAs next week. Just like that, Mays comes to a close. Mays. You know what? That's it, man. That's it. He'll be here. We'll get official word over the next couple of days, I'm sure. All the pretty pictures on social media of him signing the paper, shaking hands with Coach McCarthy. Dude, always great seeing Dude on the board. He says, good afternoon, fellas. Good afternoon to you, dude. Always great to see you, my man. Hope everything went well with you over the Mexican holiday. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back. Great to see you on the terrible board, dude. Tyrone, number 8 in the house. Also, Just Learning says Super Bowl 27 Steelers over Green Bay. You know what? I'll take a Steelers Green Bay Super Bowl. I would take anybody if the Steelers in the Super Bowl, as a matter of fact. I don't even care who it is. I don't even care, Mike. I don't even care. If the Steelers are playing in mid-February, to me, it doesn't matter. Listen, I want a team that we could beat for sure, but Green Bay, I would take it. Would that be a symbolic, Mike? That would be good for – talking about good for the league. But I think that goes a little too obvious if you're talking about these, like we were seeing we're saying about scripting and things like this. I think if the Steelers end up playing Green Bay in the Super Bowl, I think that could catch a lot of heat maybe just on social media because, again, all the script talk that people were talking about.
And we were kind of hoping for that last year. Maybe this could be the year we get it. I'd take it. I think it would be a good fit for the NFL.
Cody says, if anything, his comments were offensive. Exactly. Exactly. Cody's our resident Mexican on the board, as always. We love our Cody. Just fucking with you, bro. Let's go here to Andy. Andy says, hey, we did talk to Andy as the show started. I'm going to go right up here to where Andy says this. He says, I hope Rodgers can get it together this season. And you know what? He's a little bit more acclimated to Pittsburgh, and yes, he's a smart person. Yes, he's a future Hall of Famer, a 4-time MVP. But at the end of the day, he's human, and some things do take acclimation. And like he's used to the setting. He's used to the locker room. He's used to most of the players on the team. He's used to the things that he has to do of convenience outside of football. So all those little things that you could probably kind of package together and have an idea of just where the comfortability of a player should be after a season, opposed to coming to the city for the first time as he did last year, Mike, and also added the weapons, a little help on the offensive line, a different coaching staff. Andy, I think that things are going to come together this year, and I think the 24 touchdowns, I think that's going to go up. And you know what, Mike? I think that even maybe the 7 interceptions may go up a number or 2 at the end of the day. I just think because it's going to be more opportunistic to do things now with more weapons on the field, with a new system. Again, the West Coast offense, that ball is going to be flying around through the air. So I'd say maybe another interception or 2 added on to what he had last year. I don't think he gets any lower than 3,300 yards. I think that he has a pretty good season, to be honest with you, Andy. I can't imagine why, unless it's just one of those shit-the-bed moments where he goes out there and it kind of falls apart. But, Mike, a lot of things are trending the other way, despite who you listen to in the media. Some people are telling you that it's going to be a disaster. Other people are telling you it's going to be good. So the best thing to do is they don't know. They never played the game yet. These people do not know. Make your own assessment. What do you think? Do you think that the additions will help improve this team? Do you think a change of scenery with the coaching staff will improve this team? Do you think, so to me, I feel that we're just as much in it as we are every year at this point, Mike.
So do I. And now you have Aaron Rodgers coming back. Not only is he familiar with Mike McCarthy's offense, he's more familiar with the language that's going to be the verbiage of his offense. And how many times last year do you think, going through like muscle memory, wanting to call something that, oh no, that's not what I'm used to. I got to get into the Arthur Smith frame of mind. How much of that stuff will be cleaned up to where, he doesn't have to think. He can just sit there and react like, hey, I know our verbiage. I know this playbook backwards and forwards because it's like more or less what I ran my entire NFL career. Now he also has a familiarity with the offensive line coach. They know what kind of schemes they like to run. So he's going to be more confident with the offensive line. Be like, okay, they're being taught the scheme that I knew my entire NFL career. So everything is just they're set up to make, he's going to be probably feel more comfortable than he did last year, just because it's more familiar playbook, more familiar verbiage. It's just everything that he knows that he can probably run blind by himself. So I think that's going to be a huge step up from last year to this year. Then that's not even adding the upgraded weapons on offense and potentially an upgraded offensive line as well. So everything right now, the arrow's pointing up for the potential of this offense and the potential of Aaron Rodgers' performance.
A couple of things regarding Aaron Rodgers, Mike. Let me go right here. My notes. Maybe it was Cam Hayward. Cam Hayward, Mike, he always likes to take credit for things. Cam Hayward says on his Instagram page the other day, Aaron Rodgers signing would be a heck of a present because it was Cam Hayward's birthday present. Maybe
all
it was,
about Cam, baby.
Maybe it was like that little girl on her birthday when she's 7, the princess, and she asks for the pony and she gets the pony. This is how I picture Cam Hayward's inner mind working, Mike. Cam Hayward's Instagram on his birthday was to Aaron Rodgers signing would be a heck of a present. Maybe that was the camel. The straw that broke the camel's back.
I can see Rodgers dragging it out. I don't think he's really a big fan of Cam Hayward.
Why do you say that?
This the interaction that they had on Cam Hayward's podcast last year during training camp, and they're talking about like monies or contract, and Aaron gave Cam the comment of like, it's not always about your money, goddamn. And Cam was like, laughing about it. And Aaron had that look of disgust on his face of like, dude, shut the fuck up. Yeah. I think he likes him, but not, it's like good and go out of his way to hang out with him.
Yeah.
And I think Cam wants everyone to love Cam.
Yeah, he's the princess. Cam's the princess of the group.
Yeah, I think he is. He's that guy that wants to make sure everyone likes him.
And that drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to make everybody,
you can't make everyone happy that you work with. You can be cordial with them and be cool enough to just get the job done, then you go home. You don't have to be friends with everybody.
Some more, Mike, some more about Aaron over the past couple of days. This is what's been playing out. Ray Fotopato reports that Mike McCarthy may have been the one person that wasn't annoyed by Aaron Rodgers' delay at the Steelers headquarters. Mike, the person at Steelers headquarters, the one, maybe Mike knew something. Again, going back to where we started off the top of the show. That's the only thing that would come back to me. Mike McCarthy's walking around smiling, whistling, doing his job like nothing. To me, it seems like Mr. Mike McCarthy probably, again, like these guys are really close. I don't care what anybody says. They were together for how long, and there's no relationship more important in pro football than the coach quarterback relationship. So again, I'm sure winning a Super Bowl, having a great time working with one another for years, I'm sure they still keep in touch, and they may shoot messages over to one another that they don't shoot to everybody else. I'm just saying.
And they both said on separate interviews and stuff that we keep in contact. The relationship has been fixed from the way it ended between the two of them in Green Bay. They both moved on and grew up, and they talk constantly. So, it's no surprise that if Mike McCarthy was like, yeah, he's coming back. And I think Mike McCarthy was like, okay, cool. Even if he doesn't come back, I got 2 young quarterbacks to mold and work with and see what the hell we got. I think he's excited either way.
He's a quarterback kind of guy, and you got to have to like that because we have a quarterback kind of thing going on here. Of course, with Aaron, with the rookie, with the second-year guy, with a career backup, lots going on with the quarterback room of the Steelers. Finally, Mike, one of the geniuses here. I'm not going to name any names, but right here in the town, we have all these sports geniuses who know everything, apparently. Mike, one says this morning. He and you can use your imagination if you will. He says this. Aaron Rodgers signing is imminent. Well, no shit, Mr. Captain Obvious. Why didn't you tell us this 3 months ago when people were actually not after we get the word that Aaron Rodgers is flying to Pittsburgh? So this was reported by that person. Again, you may be able to use your imagination if you know the show. Mike, he says Aaron Rodgers signing is imminent. That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
This way, breaking news. I will be breathing in oxygen during the show.
Breaking news. I am going to crop dust Mike as I walk by him later on. I mean, it's like things that, come on.
Breaking news. Tater picks his own butthole and smells it. Derpy eats his belly button lint. I mean, what are we doing here?
That's true. We synced it. I've seen him. Listen, I've seen him go every hole he has to mouth. I swear, Mike. We've only hung out with the guy so many times. I've seen him go ear to mouth. I've seen him go nose to mouth. I've seen him go ass to mouth. I don't know what the hell his problem is, Mike. But that finger always goes directly into his mouth when he's done picking around.
Derpy. There's some questions I want to ask, but I don't know if I want them answered. During coitus, where do you think Derpy is the main where's he main go to hole for his fingers?
I don't know because I can't imagine Derpy and coitus.
And whose mouth are they going in? Derpy. I think they're all going into his mouth.
I think this is a good time to get back to the board.
Sorry to make it uncomfortable.
I'm fine. I just know that there's ladies in the house, and Mike's talking about the holes and everything else. So let's do scoot along.
I apologize, ladies. I apologize. Respectfully.
And Cody too. Come on, Cody's young, impressionable mind. We have to.
No, that's why he's number 1 on the enemy list.
All right, let's go right somewhere. Let's go right here. There we go. Yinzer Joe says this. So who are the biggest free agents you guys think would be a nice addition to the team? Mike, and I even have that on my notes here somewhere. I was going to ask you, is there anybody out there right now that you feel could be a good addition to this team? I do. I think there is somebody, and I have a person right in front of my mind. I think that Landon Roberts should be on the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. Not because I think that he should be a starter, not because of any other reason besides the fact I know he's a baller. There's just guys out there that got game. There's guys out there that are hitters. There's guys out there that are trucks. He's one of them. Landon Roberts, there's never any problems with this guy. He goes out, plays hard-nosed football, puts his hat on another hat, and does what he does. Mike, I thought his time here, the short time, was certainly productive. And again, I mean, we have starting inside linebackers. The fact of the matter is, we have to, if we can supplement that inside linebacker room at this point, Mike, because again, you lose Cole Holcomb, and listen, don't say I know that he stayed healthy the last year, but he had all those injuries. Let's say you lose one of these guys. I mean, you're basically sitting there with 4 inside linebackers right now. I think Landon Roberts could be a good addition to the room. As when your starters come out, you could get him in there and still have some quality play. And then again, on the other hand, Mike, you got Cole Holcomb and Malik Harrison. These two gentlemen, they're not exactly setting the world on fire with their play when they do get in.
Yeah.
I think I would love to have a Landon Roberts back here just for a depth piece, Mike. I think that it could certainly be necessary as, again, we're waiting to see what Coach Graham could do with the defense, but certainly something we could do to improve some of the issues we may have had last year or the year before when Landon Roberts wasn't here. You didn't see too many of these 250-yard rushing games against us. So, Mike, that's my guy. Yinzer Joe's asking, who do you think could be beneficial to this team out of free agency, Mike?
I do like that answer right there. I think Landon Roberts is one of those guys we should go and get. A couple other names to look at. If you're not liking the way Brock Hoffman is playing, and you're maybe kind of worried about the development of Dunker, or maybe McCormick takes a little step back, Joel Bitonio, former Brown, he's a guard. I believe he's still available. And if you want to add even more depth to your receiving core, Jawan Jennings, maybe this from veterans that are out there.
Is he still out there?
From last I saw, he is still out there. His contract demands, were kind of high, but if you want to work, you might have to work cheap this year. Just names to keep out there, keep an eye on out there. I don't think they're going to add anyone. I think Landon Roberts would be a good pick. But the other guys I just mentioned, that would be like if camp keeps dragging on, someone gets hurt, maybe you go and get them, or someone's underperforming and you're not seeing a play rise up in practice and you're getting just a little bit iffy, maybe go out and get one of those guys.
All right, there you go. Let's keep moving things along. Board's moving along. Great to see everybody today. Welcome to the show. Somber says, "Sup, fuckers? What's up, fucker?" Cody says, "What's up, old people? What's up, young man?" Always great seeing Cody in the house. Let's go to Vegas. Vegas says, "It's a different Aaron on the way." I agree. I do want to say what's up to Vegas, all the way from Las Vegas in the house. Always great seeing you, sir. And I hope you're right, bro. Again, a question has been answered. More than likely. Again, the word today, Aaron Rodgers is flying to town today to meet with the Steelers tomorrow as rookie camp starts tomorrow throughout the weekend. And guys, just again, we are the 18th. We are 11 days, not next week, but Monday of the following week, we do have the OTA starting. And then a couple weeks after that, Mike, June 2nd, we do have mandatory mini camp. So you know what? It's about time for Aaron to shit or get off the pot. I think we could all agree. However this went, whoever knew, whatever the case is, I think this is a time that we could all say, oh, you know what? This makes sense. Aaron's pulling in at the last minute. He's showing up, probably going to check out some rookies this weekend. And again, that is, of course, the big news going on in the Berg today. Let's stay on the board. Again, lots going on the board. I don't want to miss anybody today. I'm going to go to Lindsay. Always great seeing Lindsay on the board. Lindsay says, "Hey, hope things are going well for you, Lindsay." Let's go back to Isaac. Isaac, he says this, Mike. He says they knew, just like it's a script, they know how many games they're going to win because they're being told. They know that they're going to go very deep in the playoffs. The big Mike is good there. Let's go here to Somber. Somber says he left his pookie pipe in his locker. Let's go here. Let's go to Cody. Cody says Mike gets on the Penn State merry-go-round. There you go, Mike. That Penn State merry-go-round. The Sandusky horse. You could ride the Joe Paterno Tiger.
No. See, the Penn State carousel is Paul Posluszny, Franco Harris, Bobby Ingram, the greats.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the bumper cars is a bunch of 10-year-old boys, and that kind of screws everything up. So I'm just going to keep moving on to Tortilla. He says this. He forgot his earbuds. He has to fly back and grab them. Let's go, Tortilla. Tortilla follows that up by saying, "Damn, Somber beat me to the joke." Let's see. Somberg. Okay, we did get this. Let's go to Vegas. Vegas says Paul Tagliabue has been talking to Aaron from the afterlife, telling him to draw it out as long as possible.
The old commish ain't resting, boys.
So weird because that name popped into my head the other day out of nowhere. I thought, why am I thinking about Paul Tagliabue? And to see Vegas put it up today is actually kind of incredible.
Why wouldn't you be thinking about Paul Tagliabue?
Exactly right. Andy says, "Let's go get that trophy. I'm right there with you, baby. Let's get it. We're ready. We're due." People go, "Well, you don't even mean you're due. I mean, we're due. Just trust me, we're due." Let's go to Ty. Ty says, "This Super Bowl, here we come. Damn, today, great. Fucking walk around all day. A-Rod saw DK, Pittman, Bernard, Muth, Darnell, Warren, Rico. This O-line called JPJ. I'm on the way, baby. It's time. It is time." I tell you what, I can tell when Tyrone's feeling it. I really can. I can tell by the typing when he's excited, and I can feel it today. End of days. What's up, brother? Always great seeing end of days. He says, "Hey guys." Christine says, "Hey. Media is always on the Ravens. You ain't shitting. Come on." Here also, guys, I just wanted to tell you, I spoke the other day about somebody reporting that Vinoy, Mike, that there was some kind of interest, or I said that on the show, and people were wondering where I got it. It was CBS's Ryan Wilson, CBS Sports Ryan Wilson was where I got the note, where I got the article. However, there was also multiple articles with that same information. So it's not going to happen, but the people just did ask the other day where I did hear that about Kyle Vinoy. Let's scoot here to Ty. Ty says, Mike 100. Vegas says, what up, Endo? And the days in the house, of course. Vegas says, maybe have a game plan in place if the starter doesn't go down. Like, somebody who might have a brain in their head, right? I'm just saying. I mean, come on. Let's go here to Cody. When Omar trades for a wide receiver 3, I wonder if Bernard ends up like Roman Wilson.
Cody leaned it in hard on the Jeremy hate. I love it.
Yeah.
He's committing to the bit. I give him credit.
I like it. Lindsay says this: Steeler fans are used to the hate. Absolutely. And the thing is, I think people see us get all excitable and get us worked up, and I think they dig it. Because the fact of the matter is, we've only been over 500 or 500 or better for 20 years. We've only had more Super Bowls than everybody else. So, that's what happens when you're the top dog. Say what you want. Everybody prepares different when the Steelers are coming to town, even if we're not that good. They do. We take over your stadium with your fans, and so at the end of the day, it's certainly my age. I've learned to accept it and understand that this is what the media does to Pittsburgh for whatever reason. But that's what you do when you got that big target on your back, Mike. And even after not winning a playoff game for 10 years, don't forget that the Steelers do, in fact, have a target on their back. They just do. Dallas would too if they were any good. The thing is about Dallas, I mean, you get a team that doesn't go to the championship game for 30 years, that you tend to lose a little bit after 3 decades. So say what you want about the Steelers. Yes, we are in a slump. The biggest one we've ever seen in the Super Bowl era. However, nothing lasts forever. Mike and Law of Average will tell you that it's eventually going to go back. The pendulum will swing the other way, and the Steelers will be just fine, as we do still hoist our 6 trophies, something 30 other teams cannot do, amongst a bazillion other things that the Steelers do, right? So again, we know, we expect this, and it just is what it is, Mike. It just is. And you would probably be better off as a Steeler fan knowing that in advance and just knowing that it's coming and accept it and say, you know what, this is going to be what they say. This is going to be what they do, because again, it hasn't changed in 59 years. Why would it change now?
Yeah, like one of the most winningest franchises in the past 20 years.
They are,
you break down when, by winning percentage, we are in the top 5, easily within the top 5. It sucks the playoff success hasn't been there, but that just, to me, it shows it's like you said, the dam's going to burst at some point.
It has to.
It's going to happen. This franchise is not going to have shitty down years to, they're just going to keep chugging along, and then they're going to strike gold, and it's going to happen. You keep building towards something. Eventually, you're going to get to that ultimate goal, and that's what this team's doing. It's going a whole hell of a lot slower than we'd like, but I've been more entertained in the past 20 years by this team than I have by than most fan bases can say. Outside of like what New England and maybe even Philly, you can't say for the past 20 years you've been that entertained. And you throw in Kansas City in there as well.
Philly's always bitter. It doesn't matter how much they win. Yeah, they're just bitter.
They're bitter. But, you go from start to finish like, damn, man, we've won a lot of fucking football games. It sucks we haven't gotten that success. But like I said, man, that dam's going to burst at some point.
Vegas says, I'm just going to the top of the list here. He says these are our shitty down years. And that's the thing. Everybody has shitty down years. The fact of the matter is we never really did. If you want to talk about shitty down years, it would be that handful in the 80s. So again, this can't upset you as a fan. This could only just say, okay, well, this is just us being human, because everything eventually is up, goes down, up, down, up, all this kind of stuff. So again, law of average is going to have us back in this thing. It's just we're all hoping that it's this year. Again, Mike, our quarterback, I think we're getting answers on this as these next couple of days come along. Let's stick on the board again. Lots going on the board. I don't want to miss anybody today on the terrible board. Of course, Lindsay, the last comment, she says Steelers fans are used to that. Tyrone in response says facts, Lindsay. I couldn't agree with you more as well. Lindsay, let's go up a little bit here. Okay, I think I got it. Robert Kirkpatrick, always great seeing Robert on the board. Robert says media always have the Ratbirds pick to beat. You're right, Robert. We beat them 10 of the last 12 games. Just think about that. Just think about that for a moment. Take a minute to think what that actually is, what that means. 10 of the last 12 games, we beat the team that's supposed to beat us every freaking year and supposed to win the division. I mean, come on. That just shows you that. Come on. What are you even doing? And you're going to predict this team is going to beat us again? At the end of the day, Mike, again, 10 out of the last. That's like what the Patriots did to the Jets when Tom Brady was yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. The Patriots probably beat the Jets 10 out of 12 games. We beat the Ravens. And you're still going to put us, do us like that. Mike, that's what I'm saying. You can't take any of this stuff personal. It just is what it is. We are Pittsburgh. We're going to be okay. And things are going to work out just fine, Mike. I have no problem believing that. If not this year, I'm saying they win a playoff game this year. Some people are saying even more. So I think Pittsburgh Steelers fans are certainly optimistic, Mike, going into this season. And I think for the right reasons. We didn't sit on our hands and do jack shit. We went out and got a new coaching staff this offseason. Yeah. We went out and signed some free agents to make the team better. A wide receiver, too. That was a problem, obviously. We went and got that. And Michael Pittman Jr. And then, of course, the draft. Mike, I think rightfully so, people should feel good because I think we're in a better shape situation to win games this year than we were last year, just by way of some of the things that are happening. I'm as excited as I've ever been, Mike. And also, this is another opportunity for Steeler fans because you don't get new coaches all the time to get that first season feel. I had it with Cowher, I had it with Tallman, I didn't have it with Coach Noel, of course. But there's going to be a lot that goes into this season, Mike. I think Steeler fans are in for a real treat. I really do.
I think so too, man. I think this is going to be we're going to have a really good year. I think you're going to be excited to watch the game instead of being nervous. Can we score 17 points? Can we score 12? Do we got to rely on Boswell to bail us out every game? I think it's going to be a fun season, brother. There's a lot to look forward to, man. I want to see how this offense is going to operate now with, a coach who has a history of putting up together some really prolific offenses. And I just want to see how it runs, baby. I want to watch some high-powered offenses. We haven't seen this since prime Big Ben.
No, you're right.
So it's we've been, dealing with elder Ben and bunch of cast-offs and rookies playing quarterback for a long time. Now, yeah, A-Rod's an older guy, but he still has a lively arm for being 43 and get him into an offense that's not going to be afraid to push the middle of the field. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. And I think that kind of goes hand in hand with what you're saying. Like, you might see the interceptions move up this year just because we're going to be attacking those hot spots of the field. But that's going to create a higher chance for more dynamic plays for us. Get the balls in the hands of your big playmakers. Some of DK Metcalf's biggest catches were on those slant routes, going into the middle part of the field.
I
You
like
can pin the
like
ball
his
there.
chances, Mike. And again, it's not not necessarily against safeties all the time because safeties are tougher guys and harder hitters. But I like our receivers and our tight ends down the field. Again, you're talking about DK making plays downfield. Remember last year, it was right off the top of my head, I can't think of who they played. Miami, when DK was throwing Minka Fitzpatrick to the ground as he ran for a touchdown. And his Darnell Washington continues to look like Mario after he eats one of those stars, and people are just bouncing off him. I like our chances, Mike, with the size of our receivers and our tight ends against defenses, against defensive backfields, because again, you come up against one of these 5'10", 190-pound corners. I really like DK's chance. I really like Michael Pittman's chance. I really like Darnell Washington's chance, Mike. So again, these things are all things that are going to be continuing, hopefully moving forward, especially with the West Coast offense, passing the ball, get the ball down the field. It's just so much to look forward to, I think, Mike. It's almost like we're talking about the draft being Christmas morning. It's almost got the vibes again, knowing who our quarterback's going to be. Like it or not, I think a lot of people today is going to start being ready for the Steelers season.
Yeah, and you're talking about, those big body receivers beating up on those smaller DBs. DK Metcalf, 6'4", 229. Pittman, 6'4", 223. Patty Fry, 6'5", 258. Darnell Washington, 6'7", weight unknown. And they all have some pretty good speed too, and power. Even Bernard, he's only 6'1", 204, but you look at his build. That's a thick 6'1", 204. These aren't going to be little scrawny little guys that are going to have to fight through coverages. They get those guys in the middle field in the dirty areas and let them beat up on people. Then you add in the fact that you have two running backs that are hard runners as well. And then you got some nasty mofos up on the front of that line. We're going to, turn some defenses into Sheets paper towel dispensers, man. We're going to be Josh Reed.
We're going to beat them up.
We're going to whoop some ass this year. It's going to be fun and exciting.
Jeff Reed. Let's do move
Jeffrey.
on.
Why did I say Josh Reed?
Because you're it's hard. Let's go to Just Learning. Just Learning says, I miss my Chinese babe. I miss my Chinese babe. I'm not sure what that was referring back to, but let's go to Ty. Ty says, I think Troy will be left tackle when they keep Max at right tackle. I mean, it's not out of the question. It's not out of the question at all. Let's go to Vegas. Vegas says, guess when the last time Ryan didn't have a beard, it looked like he hasn't shaved since 1999. A real quick funny story. This is the longest it's ever been in my life. I didn't generally wear a beard my whole life. You could go back to some of the earlier videos and see this. But, Mike, it was P. Morton, a follower, a viewer from Japan, actually. One of the OGs, like Yinzer Joe is. He's been around for years with us, and he used to come on the show. And I had this little half-ass beard because I just didn't shave for a while. And P says, wow, what the fuck is that beard? What are you trying to pull with that beard? And he says, I forget what term he used, but I just know it was from that point, Mike. I've never shaved my beard or did anything to it for that matter since that day. And I got to be honest with you, Mike, it was in the old studio, not even the old studio in this building. It was in the old studio down the road. So that just kind of gives you an idea. It has been a while, but it's my playoff beard. And this is what I said. This beard is not coming off until a Pittsburgh team advances past the first round in the playoffs. It's been that way for a couple years now. Again, it just started out because, again, P was talking about how terrible my beard looked, but now a Pittsburgh team has to advance. It's my playoff beard. Any of them, any professional Pittsburgh team, the big three, has to advance out of the first round, and this beard is coming off. Or if you would have, in fact, lost the bet, but you've seen how that played out.
Yeah.
The first leg shit the bed. So that's what we're going with, Mike. A team gets out of the first round, this beard comes off. I swear to you, I promise you. The thing is, I don't love it. I've just got used to it. And then I just think to myself every time I think about shaving, I'm like, yeah, the terrible board. They're gonna have fun with this. So I just I leave it on.
Oh, so you're not gonna give the people entertainment.
No, they like my beard. Continue with me on the board. You'll see. Let's go here.
No. Those comments are AI generated.
As long as the chicks like it, that's all that matters to me. Let's scoot on. Tyrone says, Cody, not today. I'm in a good mood. Cody says this, other than Jalen Warren and DK Metcalf, Pittsburgh's offense is slow. They can catch balls, but don't have breakaway speed. I agree. I agree to a degree. They're
Jerry
not.
Rice didn't have
It's not exactly the youngest offense. I mean, we're trying to put this together on the run, on the move, and I mean, he's probably right, Mike. I mean, the quarterback is 43, and the DK is not exactly young, and he's not wrong.
not wrong, but you don't need track speed. These guys are football fast enough. Like you're in that 4-4-4. These guys are within the 4-4s in the offense. That's football fast enough.
Yeah,
It's all about the angles too. Once you get to the pros, it's not about straight line
but
speed.
it's just a lot of times though, Mike.
The angles.
If you have superior athletes, you're just gonna be better. And I think that's the point that's being made. Is we just some guys have the up and coming guys, these new young players in the league, and we really don't. And again, it's just kind of not where we're at in our timeline. We're building this team, and again, hopefully we're getting to where we need to be with the offensive line. Maybe another year of defensive line picking because Cam Hayward's not going to be around forever. But beyond that, guys, it's going to be time. I mean, these offensive and defensive lines start gelling, and the continuity, you get that. I think then you can start going outside of those building your foundation picks. Mike, I'm sorry to cut you off there, but that's just kind of where I was going with that. It just feels to me like it is what it is. And again, DK is pretty damn fast. I seen DK moving a couple of times when he got that ball in his hands and he was moving downfield. Let's do stick on the board. I want to go to where do I want to go? Right here. Christine says this. She says the last 10 years, Steelers have dominated the Ratbirds 14-6, but you wouldn't know by the media's dumbass prediction. I couldn't agree with you more. Why with this Baltimore team? I just don't get it. Robert says this. Will Howard and Drew can prepare more and learn under the master. Development. Somber says Tyrone is very optimistic. Vegas says Derpy smoked it. Derpy smoked it. El Cody. Vegas says El Cody in the house. Tyrone says very, very somber. He is very excited. We know that. Again, I can tell with Ty. Let's go here to Cody. Cody says, I don't get offended by anything. What do I look like? Izzy? No, you are very fun, Cody. You are the man. And today said this. He says, I don't even want Rodgers back. He says, I ain't even about that. Cody says, if anything, my comments are offensive. Cody, you're great, man. No complaints.
Cody being alive is offensive to my good taste and sensibilities.
Robert says this. Robert Kirkpatrick don't want him back. So you must have been preparing for at best a sub 500 season. And you know what? That's where a lot of controversy is, in my opinion. Did you want Rodgers back because you're going to get a chance to win more? He has things up here that the young kids don't have, obviously. Or do you want to risk maybe losing a few extra games, going with the young cats, getting them, throwing them to the fire, if you will, throwing them to the lions, and kind of letting this team learn how to win without the guy that's 43 and is not going to be around in another year, and give those players the continuity, the opportunity to get continuity with their receivers and their linemen and their backfield. So I think that's kind of a controversial thing, in my opinion, because one way or the other, Mike, it's two totally different ball games. Because yes, last year, Aaron, with not all the situation, not with the number 2 receiver, not with this, not with that, not with this, Mike, 10-7, well, 10-6, obviously, he didn't play in the Chicago game. So, I think that's where the controversy lies. Would you rather continue us possibly doing what we did last year, maybe a little bit better, or falling back 2 or 3 games so the players are just more comfortable moving forward as a team, playing together on the field together? Because next year when they step in, it's going to be like day one in a sense, because if these guys don't get the playing time in the regular season, which they may not, I mean, I'm sure they're going to get ample playing time in preseason, but I think that's where the line is. People didn't really know what they wanted, because of course we want to win. We want to continue to win. And Aaron's going to give us the best opportunity to continue to win. However, if you read the writing on the wall and see that life goes on beyond this year, beyond this season, the alternative might have been the answer for you. What's your thought on that?
I like the way we're going. I like with Rodgers out there is giving the team the best chance to win now. and now you're going to give two quarterbacks who actually need time to develop before they actually step on the field. And before Big Ben, and I want to say the rush of getting quarterbacks out there, the standard practice was quarterbacks sat for years. They learned, they worked
That's
on
the game is
their skills.
changing.
The game has changed, but
I mean, Drake May is already starting. You got Drake May in
Yeah.
the Super Bowl after 2 seasons. You got, Bo Nix in the AFC Championship game after 2 seasons. Patrick Mahomes comes in. He's won 6 Super Bowls.
Mahomes sat for
Okay,
a year
but
and a
Mike,
half.
I've already named 2 other people prior to that, and I can name about 6 more after. It's just a different time, and I understand what you're saying because it makes a lot of sense, and it's everything that we've always known in professional football. But is of the 2020s, it doesn't seem to exist anymore. It's a whole different league, Mike. Every young player, look at the kid down in Houston, look at the kid in Carolina. These are all young quarterbacks that are getting opportunities like that, and that kind of goes against what we've always seen. Do you think that it's different? Do you think that it's beneficial? Do you think that it's having a negative effect? Is there any difference at all?
For me, you got to base it on the player. The guys that you mentioned, they were all first-round picks, and so they were kind of expected to go right away. Aller was a third-round
Kenny
pick.
Pickett was a first-round pick, and it didn't work. So
it didn't work. Yeah, so he probably should have sat and developed. And but I would rather have a guy out there trying to win games for my team while my young guys that might be the future are learning the game. They're getting their mechanics fixed out, and they're around the team, they're around the guys. Everyone's seeing them grow, and that's giving those players confidence. So when it comes time for them to come in, hey, we've seen them in practice, we've seen them get better and better, we've seen them working with the twos, going up against the ones, and making the ones have to work for what they're getting. So it's not like they're just in practice twiddling the thumbs. They're preparing against the number one defense.
There's nothing like
it's different. It's different. There's nothing like it. But these guys are getting prepped and ready to go.
Well, there's some people, Mike, there's some people that caught footballs their whole lives that drop them on game day. I mean, the thing is, people are human. It's hard to say. But again, I do recognize, Mike, that's probably because it could have went either way with me. I could have went with the younger guys and kind of playing by fire and seeing how it played out. And kind of, again, you throw somebody into a bad situation, things tend to get better. You know what I mean? If things are perfect, you then ride, you have to keep that plateau. You have to keep that ceiling. So again, it really could have went either way, Mike.
If these guys were like first round picks and coming in looking really good, I'm like, let's pluck them in there and see what they got. But these are guys that we have obvious flaws that need fixed, and the team wants to win now. That we're kind of built to win now, but also have a team ready for the future for when these quarterbacks are hitting their prime. So we're in that stage where it makes sense to have Aaron Rodgers and have these guys sit and develop before they see actual playing time. Now, if one of these guys with a first-round pick and had a grade A locked, this is a first-round pick on them, I'd be like, say, fuck Aaron Rodgers, let's get him out there. But these guys being drafted later in the draft, I don't want them out on the field.
Mike Mason McCormick wasn't he certainly wasn't anything coming out of college. He wasn't somebody that you would expect to start. And look, he's one of the better, in my opinion, one of the better right guards we've had in quite some time. So again, you can't predict. That's why they go out and do it.
Yeah.
But I totally point.
But like the quarterback position is a whole hell of a lot harder than O-line, but I get where you're coming from.
Well, I mean, obviously that's a whole nother egg to crack, and we could get into that, but I just don't want to right now, Mike. But point taken. Again, point is taken. Do get your super chat sound effect ready because I see something coming here, Mike. Let me jump back on the board though. Let's go to Ty. Tyrone says this: we all knew A-Rod was coming back. We was just tired of waiting on him, guys. This was something that came from Arizona. Reporter Mike says this: Arizona's response, the Cardinals' response to Aaron Rodgers going to the Cardinals. He says, is there any response? Is there any speculation going on? This reporter says, quote, not at all. So again, Mike, it all kind of came together at the same time.
Yeah.
People, they knew we were getting frustrated. So whether the media, whatever happened for this whole story, the Arizona Cardinals, I don't think anybody thought he was going to be playing quarterback in Arizona this year.
No. Like looking at their roster, I'm like, why would he want to go there? It makes really made no sense, but you never know. Maybe they got really good ayahuasca down there.
I'm sure they do. I do want to jump forward a little bit to Tortilla. Tortilla says this on the super chat, Mike. He says, "Don't." I'm sorry. Go ahead and do your super chat notification.
I hate everything.
There you go. There is, of course, Derpy. Derpy with his response to last year's number one Steelers first pick, Derek Harmon. That was Derpy. I'm going to go to Tortilla, where he says this, Mike, on a super chat: "Don't rush your project quarterback in hopes that the pressure creates diamonds. Sit the project behind a Hall of Fame veteran." I guess at the end of the day, you're trying to put together the best situation, the best case scenario. That's the direction you go, but we just didn't have that confirmed as of yesterday. I mean, even as of this morning, we get the news. Aaron Rodgers is on his way to Pittsburgh, flying to town today to talk with the team tomorrow, as rookie camp starts tomorrow, Mike. So again, if you don't have much reason to be excited about your football, about your sports, I think these are just a couple things that are going to help start pushing people to the excitement of this football season.
Yeah, I'm excited for the regular season to start. I just want to watch. I just want to see. We had made it through a draft season. Towards the end, I was getting antsy. I wanted to see, what we're actually going to do. Now that we got the guys, I want to see how they're going to perform. I can't wait.
I do want to say thank you to Tortilla. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it.
You may hate it, but we here appreciate it.
Yeah, Derpy. Let's do Scoot on along right here, Mike. Let's go on the board. Somber, he found a new DMT plug in the Berg. He's back. Han John, what's up? Always great seeing Han John on the terrible board. He says Aller gets all rookie mini camp reps.
He should. I don't think Will Howard's there. I know like some veterans can go to mini camp, but I don't know if they're bringing Howard or not.
Let's go to Cody. He says, I hate that DK is a fast guy, but an awful contested catch guy. He is going to be the downfield threat, but can't catch the ball. Pittman and our wide receiver 3 are slant guys. We were preying on people doubling DK. And you know what? I'm just excited to have slant guys. I'm excited to have guys that go over the middle. It's been how long since we've used the middle of the field, certainly with this offense, Mike, and it didn't change under Aaron Rodgers. So maybe with the new coaching staff and just added weapons, we'll start to see some going over the middle, because they took that out of our offense. You took a whole part of the offense out of the offense. So no wonder we didn't score any touchdowns against Cleveland. No wonder So hopefully some of those things got fixed in a lot of this offseason work.
Yeah, that's my big hope, and I'll be very disappointed if we do not attack the middle of the field consistently.
Robert says, with AR, improved team and coaching, play calling, we will win 12 games. I agree. I think we're totally potentially a 12-team winner for sure. I do. Let's go to Christine. Christine says this: 3 of those interceptions came in the last game when it was already over. If we had A-Rod, we were at least going to have a postseason and a mentally tough quarterback to take us to the Super Bowl. And I can't deny that. He has something upstairs that this quarterback room doesn't have right now that we know of. So I'm cool with it. It's just making me more excited about the season, getting this news about Aaron today. Cody says hopefully Omar trades or gets another downfield threat. Mike, is there, aside for Jennings you mentioned earlier, is there anybody realistic out there that could be a downfield threat that's still available?
I don't think so. I looking at the receiver market, it's bare.
It's slim pickings, man.
So what we got is what we got, and I'm okay rocking with what we got. I like our room. I think it's with Bernard in there, people are falling into where they need to be, because you got Pittman as your number 2, Bernard 3, Roman 4, Big Sco 5, and then you got some guys that have been in and out on the practice squad around to fight for maybe the number 1 reserve spot. So I like the room.
Speaking of, Mike, the other day on Monday, we mentioned that Daquan Hardy was waived by the Steelers. He is now back. The cornerback, Daquan Hardy, Mike, a couple times being released and brought back already. One guy that won't be brought back, I've seen, at least I don't think so, Mike, John Rice Plumlee, he just signed with a UFL team. So yeah. I wouldn't expect to see him back. I mean, it's possible, I guess, but at the end of the day, Daquan Harvey, Mike, is back with the Steelers after being released on Monday.
Another great addition, another former Penn Stater. This is what we need.
Yeah.
Disregard what I said about him two or 3 days ago.
Just look at all the great success they have in Penn State. Let's move forward here to Robert. Robert said Aller is Mike's pick. Will Howard was Tomlin and Omar. Vegas says sign Claypool. Lindsay says Roman is wide receiver number 1.
Oh,
Dude says Rodgers last year 10-6, ranked 16, nothing to sneeze at. You're right. It's for a 43-year-old man. I mean, that's it got us in the playoffs. A team that had an MVP that was picked in the division to win the division, go to the playoffs, didn't get it done. But the team with all kind of problems, and the 45-year-old quarterback got it. So again, do what you want with the bullshit. Tyrone says keep it up, Lindsay. Kirkpatrick says Roman wide receiver 1 in the CFL. Cody says I guess it's hard to have them anyway when your quarterback throws the ball behind the line of scrimmage. Hopefully that changes a lot. Vegas says his arms are going to be tied. Tortilla, Paul Blart Mall Caboli. Tortilla says. Let's see. Wild calls. Handron says this schedule will be easier with better off, and that's another thing people haven't considered, Mike, as we play the AFC South and the NFC South. Those are our divisions we play this year. Is the South divisions, which are the weakest, Mike, divisions. And let me just take 1 second to tell you about how the divisions played out, Mike, over the past few years. I do have numbers here. I do have some things that we could talk about briefly about the divisions in the NFL. I think I have it. Yeah, right here. All right. So, Mike, let's see. How long is this over? The last 4 years. The AFC North. The NFC North has the best record out of all the divisions over the past 4 years. That is the Vikings, Packers, Lions, and Bears, which is, Mike, come on, these teams all had 12, 13, 14 wins a couple seasons ago. That's no surprise. So with a 58.8 winning percentage, the NFC North has been the strongest, but we play the South. So let's talk about them for a moment. The 2 worst divisions in NFL since in the past 4 years, I'm sorry. The AFC South, Mike, at a 40.3 winning percentage. In the NFC South, coming in at a 37.5 winning percentage. Now let's talk about our Steelers over the past 4 years. The AFC North, the second best record overall. They come in with a 54.9% winning percentage. That's the AFC North, even with the Browns, and even with the Bengals, and even with the Ravens for that matter. Still second strongest division, Mike, in the past 4 seasons. Again, 54.9 winning percentage. Number 3. The AFC West and the NFC West are tied, Mike, both with a 52.8 winning percentage. NFC East next with the 52.6, the AFC East with a 50.3. And then again, Mike, the 2 worst divisions in football are the 2 divisions that the Steelers play this year. It kind of gets evened out a little bit because we do get first place teams from the divisions that we don't play. However, you're going to get 4 from the NFC South. You're going to get 4 from the AFC South. We should be able to take some advantage of that, being that we played, against a division last year that had the Patriots and the Bills. So that's already, should be easier for us going to the AFC South from facing the Patriots and the Bills. And then also, Mike, in the NFC, we played the Lions, albeit we beat them. We played the Vikings, we played the Packers, and we played the Bears. So again, Mike, downgrading in a sense as far as strength of schedule. You got to like that. Of course, you're still going to get your first place teams. But we got to be able to take advantage, just as they were saying on the board, Mike, with this, just the way the South divisions, you have to take advantage. And to get them both in the same year, come on.
Like the Falcons, the Saints really don't scare you. The Buccaneers, that can be a tough game. I think they match up well against us. And then the Panthers are kind of the wild card. And then the AFC North, Texans, that's going to be a tough one. Jags, I think we match up well against them. Then the Colts and the Titans, I mean, come on now. There's at least 4 easy wins there. And then the other 4, we should come out with at least, 6-2 out of that right there?
We should. I mean,
you should on paper.
So that's the way that looks, Mike. I'm encouraged by that. Again, just another thing to put in a column of things to be excited about for the Steelers on why things may be a little bit better this year. So there you go. With that, Mike, let me find out where we are on the board again. I'm gonna make a nice little run here on the board just to get caught up if we can. Okay, right here, I do believe we be. Vegas says his arms are going to be tired. We did get that. Okay, right here, schedules will be easier. That's where we are. Vegas says at the moment, let's go here to Cody. Cody says defensive plans to stop Pittsburgh's offense cover midfield, double DK. No one has breakaway speed. Ty says we might need a veteran wide receiver. Somber says besides E-Rob, no, talking about the free agents that we feel that we could certainly use. Somber says that he says they can pick up a veteran wide receiver after camp when they all get released. That's true. Vegas says Adam coming back. I highly doubt that. I think Adam, if you're talking about Thielen, I'm pretty sure he is content with retirement at this point. But I don't know. We don't know that for a fact. Ty says I would take E-Rob. For sure, be great depth at linebacker. Absolutely, I think that we could certainly use depth at linebacker, especially if one of those big two go down. I mean, a Peyton or a Patrick injury, Mike, could certainly be very interesting for the Steelers in the middle of that defense. Robert Kirkpatrick says John D knows all. I'll say 12-5 with AR. With the wide receiver room, finally will be rated 12 or 13 in the league. RB says during coitus, Derpy is the old stained chair in the corner. That is very, very far up on the game ball list. No two ways about that. Good one, RB. And today's Rodgers will get hurt. Robert Kirkpatrick says Landon Roberts. Christine says I disagree. If there's one person that A-Rod doesn't like, it's Mike McCarthy. It did not end up good. And the only thing that changed was time. The holdup was probably them deciding if they can do this together. Who knows? And you probably know better than I do because I paid zero attention to the Packers. I will take your word. Let's go here to Ty. Yeah, and there are some good veteran wide receivers still available. Somber says speculation. Vegas says, didn't Aaron call Mike McCarthy the stupidest person alive? Yeah, see, I must have missed all this stuff. This is all possible, Mike.
Didn't you and I call each other those names before?
Oh, that's right. We do an okay job.
Yeah, things happen.
Yeah, all right. Mike, always the voice of reason. Let's go here to Cody. He says we need a wide receiver 3 or a wide receiver 4. Tyrone. Cody needs a new cage. Which in itself is also game ball worthy. But I tell you what, that RB's got a nice lead today.
Yeah,
with Derpy being the stained chair in the corner. Classic. Lindsay says this. She says, yeah, I saw some wide receivers' names yesterday. I was shocked at who was available still. I have to look. I haven't looked. RB says Jennings hasn't budged from 18 per LOL. Somber says
there's no way Jennings going to get 18 a year. That's insane that he still wants that. Sorry.
I know. Who's going to give him that? Who's going to give him that?
But who? No one. He got some bad advice from his agent.
Let's go to Christine. She says, and I guarantee his opinion has not changed Vegas no matter what they say. Cody says this. Cody says, just get a speedy wide receiver 1. Just 1. Somber says, just spam that when he enters the chats. Let's go here. Vegas, Cody is really 88 using his grandson's YouTube account. RB says this. It makes me laugh. 12 million. Nah, give me 18 because that's 5 million. That 5 million is going to cause you to starve. LOL. That's what I'm saying. Like when Cam Hayward made the big deal about what was it, an extra $2,000 fucking dollars or some shit last year.
Some shit, yeah.
He stopped the whole production of they were on their way to Jacksonville to play a preseason game, and Cam Hayward then decided he wanted to start talking about his contract. That's our princess. There he is, everybody. And I do want to say this, Mike. Jacksonville blocked. Speaking of the Jaguars, they blocked the NFL from moving the Steeler game to London. Mike, this was an option. They chose to continue to still want to play us in Jacksonville, so we will not be heading to London this year. That was a possibility had the Jacksonville Jaguars agreed to this. They blocked it, Mike, from the NFL. So that will not be going down. But how many freaking games can Jacksonville get in London for? Mike, it seems like they've been there every year.
Yeah,
2 times a year. Like two. What was it? Last year, the year before, they were there 2 weeks in a row. I mean, why Jacksonville? What's the big deal?
Because God, the Collins own a football club over in England, in the Premier League, and
But that's fine. But why does it come down to one family? I mean,
in
this is a league.
Jacksonville, it's always over there. And I know for a long time there was like, are they going to move? Aren't they not going to move? Oh, can they be a team that relocates to London? There was that rumor years ago. I don't know what it is, man, but I feel bad. I feel bad for the fans in London that got to watch Jacksonville Jaguar football every year.
Let's go. I just, again, I mean, what a terrible. I mean, that's not a terrible franchise, but again, you'd think that they would like to get a more different product out there than just one of the worst teams in the league. I guess they're coming up, but whatever. Let's scoot along here. Let's go to Tyrone. Ty says, I take Deebo Samuel. Not going to lie. I think he could help Bernard be a great wide receiver 4. Mark Malone. Always great seeing Mark Malone in the house. Always great seeing Mark. He says, as soon as A-Rod found out they were letting JPJ walk, he said, I'm in. Robert Kirkpatrick, I'm sorry. He says this BS on AR and Mike's hate relationship. Media BS when Mike was hired. AR haters clickbait. Cody says, this is Vegas, or am I 12 using my dad's? Vegas says you don't know your dad. I don't know that to be true or non-true, so I'm going to move along. Tortilla says Cody's dad is Omar Khan. Tyrone says Bernard getting an 84 watch. Let's go here to Lindsay. Lindsay says yes, they do. Cody says he drafted a guy with no breakaway speed. We have one downfield threat and a bunch of slant guys. Vegas says Bernard is 15 so far. Vegas says Drew is 10 and Yinzer is 66. Tyrone says, shut up, hamster. Back to Yinzer Joe. Yinzer Joe says Derpy is just being hypoallergenic by cleaning his picking finger. I don't even imagine that finger. I used to have a friend when I was a kid. You know, when you pour a glass of pop or soda, if you're not from the area, when you pour a glass of pop and you get that foam at the top, like a beer. And if you just take your finger and do this, the foam just goes down. And to do that for yourself, it's one thing. I used to have this friend. He would do that. We go to his house, and who knows how long he was doing it. We caught him one day. He was getting us drinks. We went out in the kitchen. He had his fucking finger in there doing that with the foam to get it to go down. And like I said, prior to us catching him, who knows how long he was doing it, you know? And, you know, teenage boys. Who knows what the hell was on his fingers. It was foul. It was foul. But anyway, there you go. That's what Derpy's finger reminded me of. I want his fingers nowhere near my pop. Nowhere near my pop. Vegas says these are our shitty down years. They are. This is our shitty down years, guys. Again, the worst run in the Super Bowl era for the Steelers. Tortilla says at Cody Weegan. Cody says Weegan caught 20 passes in college. Lindsay says, yeah, but no losing seasons means we pick the same number every year and we remain in the middle of the pack. No growth. I agree. Tyrone says, agreed, Lindsay, but this is the best roster we've had in the last 8 years. Christine says, I like Ryan's beer. There you go, Mike. That's why it's not coming off. The women love it. That's all that matters. Tortilla says he got breakaway speed, though. Tortilla, the law of Mike Tomlin. Just going to keep scooting along a little bit. Should try to gain some ground here. Lindsay says, yeah, we will see. Hopefully it's better this year. Cody says we're going to have Muth, Darnell, Pittman, Bernard, Wilson all running across each other midfield and DK running down the sideline. Ty says this, ignore him, Tortilla. When Bernard breaks an 80-yard catch to the crib and Weegan kicks return, he will be. Somber says, I'm just imagining Cody yelling at his phone while he's driving because he uses talk to text.
We got no vertical threat. People just looking at him driving down the street.
You're right.
Like, what the hell is this guy's problem?
Tortilla, he says that's actually a good play, Cody. Let's go here to Tortilla again. He says that's actually a good play, Cody. Says it again. Tortilla says my internet is shit. You know what? Yeah,
Tortilla. That's fine. That's fine. You can have shit internet, but Cody got to get his fucking shit together. He's running out there.
Come on. Let's go here to Ty. Ty says A-Rod has weapons. The team want him, so that's all that matters to me. The offensive line is stacked. Let's scoot along a little bit more. Cody says, see, Mike just said the middle of the field, not downfield. Tyrone says 3 stud wide receivers. I dare you to double team Pittman or DK. Tortilla says this. Yeah, now we could actually go to the middle of the field. Lindsay says 4. Tyrone. Tortilla says throwing down the field got us to 10-7 with Russell Wilson. Hey, Kenneth Jones. Always great seeing Kenneth on the board. Kenneth says, hi, guys. What's up, dude? Hope you had a great day. Hope you had a great Cinco de Mayo. Great seeing Kenneth back on the board as always. Vegas says, Calate Puto way is my new thing. I don't know what that means, but there you go. Vegas says that's what's the frequency? What's the frequency, Kenneth? Let's go along a little bit here. Cody said everyone's secondary can run down these wide receivers except DK. Tortilla, not if we push them. Followed out by saying also Tortilla, DK will be a lead blocker downfield while Bernard gets the yak. Somber says, same, Ryan. I never had a long beard until I joined the Navy. I got out and I just let it. That's, yeah. I never did through my 20s, my 30s. I never went with the beard look. Let's go here. Cody says, yeah, that's positive. At least the slant guys can block. Richard said your beard is probably safe this year. I hope you're wrong, Richard. You know, I like you and everything, but I'm gonna have to hope that you're wrong. Not because I don't like having the beard, just because one of these teams got to win. They have to, Mike. Marc-Andre Fleury was in town playing for the Steelers the last time, or played for the Penguins the last time any Pittsburgh team advanced out of the playoffs, and that was, Mike, 2017 was the last year that we did win the Stanley Cup. So, guys,
there's an outside shot, Ryan. You just pin your hopes on the Riverhounds.
Well, I don't know if they count. Like we were
counting. I count them. I count the Riverhounds.
Well, that's fine, but they're not one of the big four. Big four is MLB, NFL, NBA, and NHL. Anyway, we'll figure that out when time comes, Mike. The beard has been growing for quite some time. I think we got more time to worry about it. Let's go right here to Christine. Christine says this, Ryan. So if we win a playoff game, are you going to shave it live? I will. I'll shave it live. I will. I'll do it right here on the show. I will shave it live. That'll be fun. You're probably going to look 26. Probably. It's been a while, so I don't know. I forgot what I looked like. Let's go to Cody. He says, didn't really think about that. I just hate when we were 31st next to Tennessee in an explosive play percentage. It leads to Calvin being too small and DK not being able to catch the contested balls. Vegas says this, little kids get scared when they see their dads without a beard. Hey, you're right. I remember getting scared. You're like, what the fuck? And it takes a while. It takes a while for the people around you to get used to it as well. The first couple of days, like when you get that haircut and you go to school. Oh, Mike, you wouldn't know about the haircuts, but when you go to school and you get that haircut, and remember when you're a kid, the first thing that comes out of your mouth when you walk in, oh, the barber messed up my hair. You always had to throw that out there just in case everyone started making fun. Let's go right here. Yinzer Joe. Only thing I'm worried about this year, guys, is the Steelers have the 18th hardest schedule, while Cincinnati has the 3rd, Cleveland has the 4th easiest, Baltimore the 6th easiest. It won't be easy, and that's only because we have the first place schedule. We're going to get the first place teams from the divisions that we don't have in the entire. So, yeah, I agree with you. We're going to get – who won the New England's division? They won, right? Or did Buffalo win it?
I think New England won it.
So we're going to get New England. We're going to get who won the West? Denver.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these aren't really great teams. The fact that, that they're higher up the list, but at the end of the day, it's still a really young New England team that we beat last year. I still think Denver with a good defense, absolutely a good team, but I still think that they're beatable. And then then we get two. We get the Eagles from that oddball division game, the oddball conference game. So that's why it's just those couple games. I don't mind it. I don't fear New England, Denver. I mean, Philly's probably going to beat us, but
they've had our number forever.
It's like the 50s or some shit. Yeah, Let's go here. Tortilla says, yeah, we relied too hard on Gainwell last year. Hopefully with the new weapons, it opens the offense up and the O-line gets better. Cody says we were higher on explosive plays without DK. Raul, nice seeing Raul back in the house. Raul says, I hope you had a great couple days, my friend. Glad to see you back. He says, I take it Neil O'Donnell wasn't available. Tortilla says this, and the defense has to stop the run consistently. Yeah, that has to improve this year.
Yeah.
Listen, there was times whenever the defense was stout against the run, but it was hit or miss week by week. You could shut down Miami, who's having a good run game, or Buffalo comes in, was struggling a little bit, and ran for over 200 yards. So, again, consistency certainly has to be key. It has to be an area of focus for the Steelers defense, stopping the damn run game. You got to. That's day one stuff, stopping the run. And no quarterback, Cody says also Tortilla because DK bends over for vertical balls. That was kind of what Chase Claypool did, wasn't it, Mike?
Yeah. Yeah, like big guys that would just, when they jump, they wouldn't extend their arms and they would like just lean down. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. You're fucking like DK Metcalf. You're stronger than like most linebackers in the league. So obviously you're stronger than every fucking defensive back in the league. You got a big, tall, long body. Your arms are fucking. You're like Zangief from Street Fighter. Extend and make a catch while you're being covered. It's the weirdest thing in the world.
Cody says Russell Wilson and George Pickens had more explosive plays than Rodgers and anyone on this team. Tortilla, because that was the offense. Throw it deep to GP. That was it. We didn't really have too much else going on. A lot of people hated Najee, so they didn't like that part of the offense. So we'll see. Tyrone says A-Rod coming back helps the team and develop young quarterbacks. Let's go right here. There we go. Tortilla says this. That was literally the entire offense. It was GP covered. Russ threw the ball out of bounds. He did do a lot of that, throwing the ball out of bounds, didn't he, Russell Wilson?
Yeah. He didn't take a sack, though.
Cody says, you can't throw deep to DK. You really have to rely on Yak with him. Christine says, I never want to spend a season losing. I'm not getting any younger and being pissed off all season because we can't win a game. I know. I agree. I mean, there's no guarantee tomorrow's even going to happen. So why not to always go in now? But when tomorrow finally does happen and we're not in that position to continue to be successful. So it's tough. It's tough. Everybody wants to win now. And again, this is the longest drought the Steelers ever had in Super Bowl era without making it to the playoff, without winning a playoff game. The longest drought, the last 10 years. They've been doing this for 60. We just used the last 10 of them by not winning any postseason games. So hopefully this changes. Let's go right here, Tyrone. We had explosive plays last year, you hamster. Tyrone and Cody. Tortilla says you can if they have to cover 3 or 4 other targets. Tortilla, they doubled DK. Cody, Tyrone, we were the 31st in explosive play percentage. That means how many were caught? The only team that had less was Tennessee. Tyrone, 100%. Tortilla, we can have an actual wide receiver core now. Tortilla says this, and Wilson can break away too. Tyrone, okay, what wide receivers we had last year, I'll wait. Cody says we caught 15% of explosive plays, and I'm pretty sure that was Gainwell, who is now gone. Tortilla, nah, man, don't rush the project. Quarterbacks you named all first-round QBs. Tyrone says stop comparing Calvin Austin III, Adams to MBS, Pittman, and Bernard. Somber says this. Cody Arthur Smith, one wide receiver and a 42-year-old quarterback. Wouldn't usually lead to a whole lot of success, you know. Somber says shut it. Cody says it was a good day where Somber. It's a good day where Somber falling for it. Cody says. I'm sure that was his talk to text while driving.
Probably. I'd hope so.
I hope so, please. Also, again, Tortilla, thank you so much for the super chat. Vegas says that face has to be AI. That face has to be AI.
Got to be Tortilla's fucking avatar.
I don't know. Maybe. I can't zoom in on it, so I don't know. I just see it small. Let's go here to your original Yinzer Joe. Yinzer Joe says this Ryan got a baby face without the beard. I think that, yeah, I mean, it's certainly a difference for sure. Mark Malone, to be fair, they've dumbed down the game quite a bit. Dude says put up a pic of clean-shaven Ryan. I could do that. Give me just a moment. Let me get through some things. I can send something over here in just a moment. Cody says, I don't know, man. This offense has no speed. Cody's caught up on the speed of this offense, I've noticed, Mike. Let's go here to Ty says, Harmon is a beast. I couldn't agree more. Tortilla says, Arizona is strict on drugs. Maybe that's ultimately why,
Could
Mike.
be.
Because back in the day, in the 60s, all those hippies, they used to go out in the deserts and trip for days and never come back. Well, they'd physically come back, but they'd never come back. Let's go to Lindsay. She says she loves Harmon. And Tortilla says, does the Rams have speed, Cody? Let's go here to Ty. Ty says, shut up, Cody. Tortilla. Calvin Austin III was fast as fuck, and most the time he got jammed. At least now the team that's we're going to be the team that pushes you around is what he's saying. Let's go right here. Cody says this kind of Devontae Adams and Puka can catch the ball downfield. Their quarterback can actually throw the ball downfield, and their running backs are fast. Cody says, shit. Cody says hamster, or Summer says hamster. Cody, right here, Tortilla with Rodgers. We don't need to be the fastest. We need to be on time. And when you're bigger than the other team, it's a lot easier to be on time. Tortilla says Adams and Puka are about as fast as Pittman and DK. DK 4.3 is what Ty is saying. Scooting along a little bit more. I am going to pull away from the board just a moment, Mike. But as I said, I'm trying to get caught up. I don't want to leave anybody today, especially heading into this weekend, Mike. Again, with rookie camp starting tomorrow. Aaron Rodgers flying into town today. So much going on. Let's go to Cody says this, yeah, but DK can't catch. I think there are pros and cons. I think there are pros and cons to having Aaron. There are things often on the field Rodgers gives to the offense and the backup quarterbacks the coaches can't give. Tortilla says he needs to take that visor off, and I bet he'd catch better. Cody, DK got JPJ hands.
Cody is on fire today.
And Cody says, or should I say JPJ bricks?
Oh, damn.
Yinzer Joe says, but the JPJ is the GOAT. Cody says maybe DK should change to cornerback. Tortilla says he'd punch someone if he played defense. Mark Malone, JPJ heading to Arizona 2027.
Poor Tyrone.
I know. I was just thinking
Tyrone, he's having a good day, and no one can let him have a good day.
And he responds to Mark Malone. He says, Yinzer Joe, don't start with me today, brother. Just don't do it. Sorry, I needed to clear my throat. Let's go here to Tyrone. Okay, I see what it is. Bet 100. Tortilla saying, oh shit, they starting Cody. He would get away with it on defense, though. Sosh, what's up? Great seeing you, Sosh, all the way from Switzerland.
What up, brother?
On the terrible board. He says, I think the Saints are going to be sneaky. I think they'll be sneaky good this year, too. They showed signs of being sneaky good last year as the second half of the season went on for sure. Great seeing you, Sosh. Hope things are going good for you. Let's go right here to Yinzer Joe. He says, Tyrone, just playing, man. Dude says the same people who bitch about Rodgers are the same people who be butchering if we don't make the playoffs without him. Tyrone, I guess he did punch somebody on offense. Yeah, for sure. Cody says this. He says, nah, Yinzer Joe ain't playing. We've been discussing the JPJ move to get Arch Manning. Tyrone says 24 is the best. Somber, DK and Roman 4.3. Pittman 4.52. Bernard 4.48. Weegan 4.47. Eli 4.44. Warren 4.55. Rico 4.54. Muth 4.68. Darnell 4.64. And Nowakowski 4.66.
That's some good NFL speed right there.
Mark Malone, A-Rod is gonna tackle Robusters Jones as soon as he sees.
I'll get my payback, bitch.
It's always something with this A-Rod. I don't know. Lindsay says Roman is our wide receiver one. Tortilla, who cares how fast the defense is if they can't bring you down? Tyrone says, Lindsay, keep it up. Y'all trying me this whole week. Tyrone, I wonder what A-Rod wants. How do you think that's going to land, Mike, as far as money goes? I mean, was it 12 last year? They were saying it's going to be at least 15 this year. Some people are speculating 18. Where does Aaron Rodgers' payday land this year, Mike?
Maybe like it's going to be I'm going to give a wide range here, 18 to 25. Like with maybe incentives lowered in, if it's like a base salary of 18, like with some incentives in there to get it closer to like that $25 million range. That's where like most reasonable, good starting quarterbacks, the bottom end is about like 25 million a year. But he might end up in that spot, and if they can convince him, like, hey, we'll give you some easily, attainable incentives in there. There you go, to help bump that number up closer to the 25. I think it might be in that range.
Yeah, I mean that's I
don't think it's going to be around $30 million.
No, absolutely not.
That's like Charlie Batch all over Twitter. He's been saying, "Oh, it's going to be 30. He wants 30 million a year." I don't see the Steelers giving A-Rod 30 million a year.
Yeah, neither do I, Mike. Again, yeah, no, I agree. I don't think it's going to be 30. I don't think it's even going to be 25, in my opinion. To go from 12, it seems like somewhere between 18 and 22 for me. But that's just me personally, Mike. You want to take a few of these comments? I'm going to try to grab something here real quick. I was right here at 13:58:51. Ty was the last one.
Ty's saying the Jaguars are scared. They don't want to go to London and see us whoop they ass. Cody's saying if DK switched to cornerback, JPJ would be CB2. You just love pushing Ty's buttons today. Christine's saying probably 20 mil for A-Rod.
That's where I'm thinking.
That would be like the perfect amount right there. Here's 20 mil. Let's go. London yuck from Cody. Yeah, he's got all the British people over there and their nasty ass teeth.
Yeah.
Tortilla saying 15 mil. Somber, that's disgusting. Probably, I think he's talking about the finger in the someone else's pop. That is disgusting.
And one thing you got to know about Dizzy, the kid's name was Dizzy, and he always had long fingernails. Like he was the kid that just
and they're all the dirt and the grime.
Yes.
There. What else? He ain't washing his hands ever.
No.
Ever. No. And John saying all 10 picks make the team.
That was a question I had, Mike. And also another one is the 2026 draft, is it going to produce any day one starters? I think that it's possible that all 10 make the team, but any of those 10 starting on kickoff weekend?
If I can see Mad Max starter, if not him, Bernard, but it all depends on how you count, or like when they announce the starters and we come out in a 2 tight end set and Jeremy's not out there. You count that not as a starter, or we go 3 wide. He's a 3
general
guy.
Starter, just your general starter. I mean,
they McCarthy likes to want a one tight end set, so 3 receivers. I'm gonna say at least 2. I'm gonna say Mad Max and Jeremy will be day one starters. Outside shot with my hero, my fellow genetic freak when it comes to hair, Jennings Dunker has an outside shot to be the 3rd starter on opening day. So I think you get potential with 3 opening day starters. Right there. Let's see. Somber saying he was definitely digging it in that butt.
Who, Dizzy?
Probably think so. Yeah, Somber saying he was definitely digging in that
I don't want to
butt.
make this show all about me, but you know what? I'm not. I shit on his porch one time. The same dude was sticking his fingers in my pop. Listen to this. I was out with a friend. It was a paper boy, and I was all the way across my town, and it was a hot summer day. And you know how when you have to shit.
Yeah.
So I ran across town like my butt cheeks, clenched the whole way across town. I did, and I got to where he was, and I realized I couldn't make it any further. Yeah, I mean, you get the bubble guts. It was the bubble gut, And I stopped and I'm like, Dizzy, you got to let me in your house. Kind of like Friday, kind of how that played out on Friday. I'm like, Dizzy, you got to let me in, please. I have to use your bathroom. And he's like, dude, I can't. My pap won't let. He said, don't let anybody in. And I'm like, Dizzy, please, please, please let me use your bathroom. And he said no. So I went around back and I shit on his deck.
That is the appropriate response.
Come on, man.
I like help a brother out,
You know, I was 16 years old.
Right? Yeah.
It's almost as and like that. And then I took, but you know what I did? I was like, I said, Dizzy, just give me some toilet paper. I'll go back in the woods, you know?
Yeah.
And then I went around back and shat on his deck and I put the pile of toilet paper right on top. Again, Steelers, go. I'm sorry.
Well, great segue to the next comment. Ryan, Lindsay loves that you say pop.
You know what? I've never said soda in my life, as a matter of fact. Never.
I've only referred to soda as to like an actual soda, like the unmixed fucking carbonated water. Tortilla. One time a DoorDasher told me they accidentally fingered my milkshake. I asked how far he got. If it was just the cream, I'll scoop it out.
Well, did he make it? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he fingered Tortilla's milkshake. I'm just going to leave it at that. Somber, those darn milkshake fingers. Let's see. Sevenberg, what up, bro? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the terrible board. It says Rodgers always coming back. That's what we assumed here for the entire offseason. We were saying like 99.9% sure Rodgers is coming back, and if not, it was going to be Will Howard, Mason Rudolph, and an unnamed rookie at the time, which we now know is Drew Aller, would be fighting out for the starting spot. So A-Rod coming back, he's the starter. Now it's like, who's going to be number 2? And do we keep 4 quarterbacks? Well, Rod, you're safe. Lindsay is saying the Riverhounds do not count.
Yeah, they don't count. That's what I said.
I think they do, but that's just me. I like the Hounds.
But that doesn't make them a Big 4 team.
That's true. But they're still number 1 in my heart. Somber saying from Shefty Sheft, Kenny Moore from the Colts asked for and granted his release. He's saying another safety on the board. I don't know. We might go looking for safety if we're not liking what we have. But I kind of like what we have, but it all depends on Deshaun Elliott's health. If he's going to be healthy, ready to go. Kenny Moore might be a name to keep an eye on. Somber's also saying Darius Slay talking about Pittsburgh's backwards red zone defense. They were outside leverage every fucking call. Slay said coaches trusted the front to bat down passes on throws over the middle. I mean, they were really good at it, but put a lot of trust in that's kind of misplaced. It's going to be interesting to see how this defense is now going to perform with Graham in there. Like, I can't wait to see the kind of changes that are coming.
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought you were going to say something.
I'm trying to get these pictures sent over for whatever reason. Your account is the only one that's not letting me send to. So listen, I'm going to have these pictures tomorrow. I promise. Join us tomorrow for the pictures. I swear I'll have younger pictures without the beard. It was just taking me entirely too long to get that set up, and I don't know why. Again, it's always your account, Mike. It's always like and you set me up for failure.
I do. I personally like. How can I fuck you over for the show? And it makes me feel good. Makes me feel big and important.
Let me grab a couple things here, Mike. I think we're pretty close, or pretty far up the board on being caught up. A few things I do want to also talk about, Mike, is this. The NFL named their top 10 rival games of the year. Steelers making one of them. I don't know if you've seen this list, Mike. The Steelers and the Ravens, they make this NFL's top 10 games this season. But so what? You know what? I don't care for this anymore. I mean, it makes sense. They are, I think, they're the best rival, the best game of the year. But they also have the Ravens and the Browns is number 10. And at the end of the day, yes, even if they were the Ravens the Browns almost 30 years ago, how the hell is this even a game anybody even cares about? This Ravens and Browns.
Yeah. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing. That was seen as a rivalry. Like, I don't even consider, like, the Browns rivals to the Steelers anymore. Because, they moved down to Baltimore. That's the rivalry. These new Browns that came back, we've been wiping their asses with them, and so's everyone else in the division. And so how the Ravens and the Browns is a rivalry, I get it. You trying to manufacture it because you stole our team, when in actuality, no, your city let your owner down, who poured his heart and soul into that city and did everything he could for that city and other teams, and you fucked him over. And he said, "Fuck you, I'm going to Baltimore." So, to me, that's not a rivalry.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good but at the end of the day, I don't know how any of them could be above the Steelers and the Ravens.
No, it's the best rivalry in the NFL.
The stupid rivalries in the NFC East, and you got the Cowboys and the Reds. I mean, the fucking Redskins, for crying out loud. They're not even the Redskins. Who cares about the Commanders? Who cares? Cowboys haven't, the only team in the NFC that hasn't been to a championship game in 30 years. How these teams even get on this list at the end of the day? But I guess you have to find 10 games, Mike. But again, the Browns. Is there anybody that cares about watching that football team play on Sunday? I don't know anybody.
No, like outside of Cleveland, no one gives a fuck about the Browns.
No, I can't believe the people in Cleveland. Tater does, though. He's in a different country. He might as well be an alien, though. Who cares about the Browns?
Right?
Where are we on the board, Mike?
We are at. It moved on me. Where are we at? Oh my God, we are at John Quinn, talking about the guy's numbers.
Timestamp?
14:08:57.
Gotcha. All right, right here we have for some reason I don't have 14:08:57. I have 14:08:58. Is that hand-drawn?
Yeah, it should be hand-drawn.
Okay, hand-drawn says this: Bernard will be 10. 5 is not available. Bernard has 2 favorite players. Puma 12 ain't happening, and I'm not even sure what's going on in this message. I apologize. Cooper Cup 10. Do you think? There we go. Might cost me all my messages again. What else? Why is everything go? Listen, with you, everything goes haywire at once. That's the thing about you. You don't stretch it out over a period of time.
My hands were up. I didn't touch them. I didn't touch the board.
But why does that happen every day?
I don't know.
Only
to you.
No. Don't even try that. I just can't. I just don't understand how it happens every day. I'm going to scoot up a little bit. I do apologize, guys, just because we are rounding third on the show. Tortilla says I can't shave because people would see how far apart my eyes are. That's really not the guy. I'm like, what's his name? Carson Beck. That's really a picture of Tortilla that you see.
Maybe Tortilla is actually Carson Beck.
It may be.
Have you ever seen them together? I have not.
I've never seen Tortilla Jackson and Carson Beck in the same place at the same time. That is 100% true, Mike. So I'm sorry, Cody. Cody says this somber as far as those 40 speeds. Darnell is almost the same as Dowdle and Warner. He's faster than Muth and Nowakowski. Somber says 3 starters for sure. 2 possible starters: Jeremy, Caden, Riley, Max, and Dunker. Possible starters. Now, of course, going back to any of these rookies, any of these 10 rookies, are they going to be starting on opening day? Cody, Darnell is 6'10", 320 pounds. Tortilla, Cody, the fastest offenses in the NFL were the Saints, the Cowboys, and the Cardinals. Just stop. Tortilla, speed isn't the end-all, be-all. Cody says this. Sommer says Cody does meth. Confirmed. I do want to say what's up to Mark Collins. Welcome to Mark Collins on a terrible board. Glad to see you. Welcome to the show. He says, all I can say is screw Rodgers. We don't need him. Now go with Mason Rudolph and Will Howard. Facts. Rodgers is a Neanderthal head case. Cody says this. It's a good day, if I do say so myself. Mark Collins says, go get more today. Somber says, I'll send 2 pics of Discord as well. Shaven and without the. Yeah, let's do that tomorrow. Somber. Again, it gives me a chance to kind of get it, set up something and get it to Mike, and we'll do it tomorrow. Yeah. We will put a picture. We'll put pictures of us up without our beards. That could be fun. Let's go to Tortilla. He says, why does every Mark love Rudolph? Cody says this. Dude, this team has no speed at all. Darnell Washington, same speed as everyone. Let's go here. Georgian, always great seeing Georgian. Nice seeing you back on the terrible board. Georgian says, Ryan Vanilla, what's up? Great seeing you. Georgian, hope things are going good for you. Tortilla says, Cody likes trains. Somber says, if everyone pitches in $1, we can buy Cody some speed. I might know a guy. Cody says, I wonder if Spencer Anderson can catch contested passes. Didn't he catch a pass last year, or was it the other Anderson?
I think it was the other Anderson.
I thought so. Yeah,
I get the two Andersons confused.
I do too. But there was a ball caught by one of our Andersons. I do know that. Let's go here to Tortilla. He did catch a contested catch for like 2 yards. Somber Hand John really cares about those jersey numbers. Let's go here to Cody. Spencer Anderson, 5.140. Time not far off. Let's scoot up here to Tortilla for a lineman. It was contested. True. Mark Collins says, I don't love Rudolph. He is the only vet I'm saying the Steelers will give first shot. As far as I care, Will Howard is this team's starting quarterback. He should be Drew Aller. He should be. Drew Aller is a freaking piece of shit, he says. Let's scoot along. Let's go right here to Jamal. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Jamal on a terrible board. Hope things are going good for you, sir. Cody likes to climb trees. Gang. That was via Jamal. Let's go to Cody. He says, Tortilla, they just called you Carson Beck. Mark Malone. Magnum is going to get traded. That's your guy too, man. Tortilla says, if you've ever seen a Bell Danger video, you've seen me. Cody says, this, or are you a Bella Danger? I think you like trains. Let's go here. No, it wasn't Spencer. Mark Malone is saying it was the other one. Who was the Calvin?
Yeah,
Calvin.
Yeah.
I ultimately agree, Georgiana. I never loved Mason Rudolph. I never got it. I just didn't get it. People. He came out and showed signs of life every now and then, but again, at the end of the day, certainly wasn't my ideal when it came down to it. Mike, one more thing I do want to say. Again, we're kind of rounding third here. Let's go to this. Steelers would like to extend all 4 of these players, Mike, from the 2023 draft class. Do all 4 of them get extended? Let me give you these names. Nick Herbig, Joey Porter Jr., Keanu Benton, and Darnell Washington. When it's all said and done, Mike, again, I know Ty, a lot of times he's talking about JPJ getting his extension, and he should get that bag, Mike. But of those 4 guys from that class, yeah, I think they're all from the same class.
Yeah, they're all the same class. Yeah.
Who does all 4 of them get extended? Who gets left out if not?
I hope they can bring back all 4. I think there's a role for Keanu Benton on this team. Joey Porter Jr. is obviously cornerback 1 on this team. He's a top cornerback in the NFL. You have to get him back. Nick Herbig, he's your next wave of outside defensive players. That's a game wrecker. You got to bring him back. Darnell Washington is a weapon on this team. He has to come back. Like, Benton could be the odd man out, but I think he's the easiest one to sign and extend. I think. But he would be the odd man out for me. But I have a feeling this team, in the way they operate, Joey Porter Jr. could be the odd man out. I can see them throwing mad money at Nick Herbig, get the other two being Washington and Benton, done on reasonable deals, and Joey Porter Jr. They'd be like, wait, sorry, we don't have money for you. Like, we're getting after the quarterback, so therefore we don't need quality depth at the quarterback because we're going to build it on pressuring the quarterback. Where I think they should spend more money on the corners and having those guys locked up and spend less on edge rushers. But the team philosophy seems to be outside linebackers, edge rushers over corners. So I think ultimately JPJ might be the odd man out. I hope I'm wrong because I want him here and I want Herbig here. But looking at the salary cap, JPJ might be the outside man out. And I'm not saying that just to fuck with Tyrone. I want JPJ back. That's my guy. I think he could be the odd man out.
Let's go right here and see what they're saying on the board. Mark Malone says they get everyone done but JPJ. So Mark's agreeing with you. Let's go to Ty. Ty says Benton will be the odd man out. Somber says Benton was probably the odd man out if they only pay 3. Then you made the point about him being the easiest extension. I think Somber then said true to that. Mark Collins says the thing is the Steelers team is only going to go as far as the offensive line goes. It can't put out a decent offensive line where we could Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, if they can't protect whomever. But that's Mark. I mean, this is the route they've been taking, though. If you think about it, the past 5 years, they've made a point to go with offensive line or defensive line, more offensive line to get that solid foundation, so you can start building your team. So I mean, you're right. You're not wrong. You're only going to go as far as your offensive line can take you. But that was kind of the approach coming in. I know when Omar Khan and Andy Weidl started working together, that was the goal. Let's attack the interior line. Let's get our offensive line. That way you can start building around it. So they did. They went in. The project started with going after Roger Jones. That was year number 1. And then, of course, you bring in Fatanu, and then Frazier, and then McCormick kind of came in as a side package on that because nobody expected him to be starting on the offensive line as a rookie. Mike, and then also you had Siamalu, so that wasn't anything that we had to worry about. Now we are trying to get those pieces put into place, as I'm seeing on the board. Dunker is a beast. You're not. I believe Gunn. Yeah, I agree with you. So, I mean, if he could fit in that place, or Brock Hoffman, or however it plays out, that's been the goal, was to get this offensive line to be the foundation, and then you can start building it. And then also, with that being said, now you can get your quarterback, if he is a younger quarterback, and put him in the place behind an offensive line that's established, opposed to getting a young quarterback and putting him in danger, having the guy being on his ass like Charlie Batch was in Detroit for the first 4 years of his season. You'd like that guy to be able to have his protection back there. So I think ultimately to that comment, I think that it's a work in progress, and I don't disagree with you. I think the offensive line is huge. It's a huge part of a football team, and I just hope that again it continues to grow together and become a stronger unit. Because again, I thought Fatanu looked great on the right tackle. I thought Frazier looked fantastic at center. Even McCormick, somebody that wasn't expected to be a starter, especially so fast. That whole right side of the line, it's kind of another year together could be a good thing. And then also fixing the left side, whatever that plays, whatever it comes down to, whether it's Broderick, whether it's IMAX, whether it's Cook. Who knows what's going to go on at tackle, but we also try to address the guard position as well, drafting Dunker, bringing in Brock Hoffman. We got Anderson. So I agree with you 100%. The offensive line is vital. The right side looking good. Just what are we going to get from that left side this year, Mike? Still not quite sure who's going to be slotted in spots. That's why they go to camp.
Yeah, and don't be surprised if the O-line looks a little jumbled this year as they try and figure out like the best formation of it. And you have guys that have positional flexibility, and that have the flexibility to play left and right side. So it's going to be probably some changes going forward week to week, or even practice to practice.
I'm going to start right here. I apologize. I catch every message. I truly, honestly do. I'm going to just jump ahead a little bit right here due to time. Christine says that would be retarded. Herbig is only worth 15 to 18 max. Herbig will go. Tortilla says this: we're trading JPJ to the Lakers. The Lakers. There you go. Jamal says, laugh my fucking ass off. Tyrone will be pissed and finally realize this franchise is terrible right now. Let's go to Mark Collins. He says this: I believe gunning Dunker is a freaking beast. I can't wait to watch him play football along with all the other Iowa Hawkeyes. Mike, again, building a team, a roster full of Iowa Hawkeyes. At the end of the day, let's go to Frank Campbell. I want to say welcome to Frank. Welcome to the Terrible Board. Welcome to the show. He says we have improved at the spots that struggled last year. I predict 13-4. And you know what? I want you to be right, and I don't disagree. I'm saying 12, but 13, as you said, you fixed those spots. You didn't have receivers. You got receivers. The offensive line, you built that. I don't disagree with you. Also, Frank, with that being said, we do play the South divisions again in the AFC, in the NFC South. That certainly helps out as well. Certainly going from the AFC East with the Bills and the Patriots who we played last year, and then the NFC North They didn't give us the trouble that we thought they were going to, but we still did lose to the Bears and the Packers at the end of the day. So getting the easier division certainly, I think, is going to play a role this year, Mike, and possibly getting that 13 wins that Frank's talking about on the board.
I put 13-4 as the ceiling. I think it's attainable, but I think it's going to be a struggle to get to 13-4.
I think, we'll see. We'll see. Let's go to Somber. They're not going to bring JPJ out on the stage to announce. Hold on, where did it go? They're not going to bring JPJ out on the stage to announce a pick with his dad, only to let him walk. Not happening. And that's kind of where I'm at. I think JPJ ain't going anywhere. I just think that this is the way Pittsburgh is. I think they're going to pay him money. I think that his dad was a superstar. I think they're going to let him be a superstar. And again, Pittsburgh is huge on bloodlines, names, connections, all that kind of stuff. So I think JPJ will be fine. That's my opinion. Let's go here. Rob says this. He says Steelers better have the running game or they won't go far. And in theory, I mean, it should be just as good as it was last year, Mike, right? I mean, we don't know what we have with Rico, where that's the change out. Gainwell, certainly he's not here anymore, but Rico's in. So, until we see what kind of production Rico puts out consistently, it's going to be hard to tell. But
based on what we saw, like what I've seen from him when he played with Dallas and with Carolina, I think he's going to fit right in well with him and Jalen Warren, similar backs. And then, if Heidenreich makes the team, using him in weird sets out of the backfield too, I think Dwaddle and Warren are just going to be a great 1-2 punch. They're just going to wear teams down.
I got to be honest, every 1-2 punch that we've had with Warren has been nice. I know a lot of people didn't like Najee, but statistically he was better than everybody else. So at the end of the day, every combination we've had with Jalen Warren has been good, Mike. Najee and Jalen, Gainwell and Jalen. And again, if Rico Dowdle could come out this year and do good at this running back by committee with Warren as well, I think it could be very effective. Really no reason why we shouldn't be, if you think about it. It should be is at least as good as it was last year, or better moving forward. But again, we'll see. I'm not real familiar with Dowdle. A lot of people are. I'm not. So I'm still kind of waiting to see things beyond the videos on YouTube at this point.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let me scoot right here. Mark Malone, dunker, IMAX right guard, right tackle. Sommer says, did you mean left tackle, Mark? Sommer says, if so, I agree. Mark Collins says the tight end fullback is a beast. Also, Cody, when DK gets switched to CB, he's going to take all of JPJ's money. Tyrone says JPJ is getting $30 million. Jamal, JPJ is a Steeler. I agree with you 100%. I don't think there's any chance that listen, even if he's not for life, he's certainly going to get past this first extension. He's going to get past this first contract.
I hope so. But that just seems like a move that they would do. It just feels like you know what? Let's just concentrate on getting after the quarterback. We can deal with lesser talent on the back end. I hope I'm wrong, because I want JPJ here, not just because he's a Penn State guy, it's because he's a damn good lockdown corner. That you need that guy.
I think most important, again, Mike, they even brought the little dumb Watt along just to have the brothers, the names.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're going to keep little dumb Watt, I understand money is an issue, but at the end of the day, the Steelers very big on bloodlines, names, traditional kind of things. So, in my opinion, I don't see him going anywhere unless something bad goes down or his play declines, or it either gets that or so good, Mike, where they have to continue to pay him more and more money, and then that becomes a problem. But right now, I can't imagine him not making it past the first contract. It just seems very unlikely to me. Let's jump on the board right here where Ragu, what's up? I do want to say what's up and welcome to Ragu. He says, hello, Yinzers. Hello, chat. Welcome to the terrible board. Welcome to the show, Ragu. Glad to have you. Glad to see you. Let's go to Mark Collins. He says, JPJ and that everything kids is our future starting corners. Let's go move forward here to Tortilla. He says, to be fair, did Claypool, we did walk Claypool out to announce GP, but JPJ is all around better in every way and is actually top 3 at his position. And in my opinion, Mike, we've been looking for this cornerback for a long time. we've been looking for that solid cornerback to have. We've had Steven Nelsons, we've had Hayden's, and some players that came through that were good. Levi Wallace, who ended up not being as so some, even Slay. We've had names. We've been looking for that guy, Mike. We've been trying to pull that guy for some time. Now we got him at JPJ.
You gotta lock him down.
You gotta lock him down.
Like he is my number one priority out of that 4. I'm sorry, I love Herbig, but we can find edge rushers. You know how hard it is to find a lockdown corner in the NFL? That's hard as fuck to find. And I'd rather have someone that can erase a wide receiver for an entire day than hoping my guy can consistently beat a right or left tackle play after play after play after play. But what's more likely to happen? What does happen most of the time? If you have an elite corner and an elite edge rusher, your elite corner is erasing half the field. Your edge rusher is not getting to the quarterback 100% of the time. He's not getting there 50% of the time. He's not getting there 30% of the time. So I'd rather pay my money to the cornerback, and then all my left tackle, and then my quarterback, then go from there and spread out my money. The way we've been allocating resources, to me, is bass backwards, because we here at Pittsburgh love our linebackers for some odd reason more than one of the most important positions on defense.
Somber says Weegen and Heinrich are going to make this offense fun for sure. Not sure about right away in 2026, but in the future. Tortilla says this. It's not like they walked JPJ out to draft a DB or his replacement. They drafted another Penn State guy, so I agree. Jamal says we traded GP and he was the best offensive player on the team. But you know what? If JPJ starts bringing problems and start walking past live balls on the ground, I think that's when you start to have that conversation. I mean, GP it was a whole nother situation. Yeah, he was a beast. Yeah, he was arguably one of the better players on offense in the league, perhaps. But at the end of the day, it's the luggage, it's the baggage. Nobody wants that. People are coming together to try to do important things and do a big thing and be successful in the league and the sport that they play. They love their whole life. Sometimes you just that pain in the ass. He's got to go. It doesn't matter who he is, how good he is. If he's holding the team back in a sense, which there's nothing to prove that he was. But in the locker room, I mean, come on, we've all played sports. You get that one guy that's just a pain. He's just a trouble. You just rather not have him. It doesn't matter how good he is. And I think that's ultimately going to be what's different between JPJ and George Pickens. JPJ doesn't even say 2 words. The guy's he has no baggage as far as I know. I don't not if there is, I don't know about it. He seems to be very professional. Professional is the word I think I'm looking for there.
Yeah.
I think when you talk about George Pickens, professional has to be a word that you use, because that is what he was lacking, was professionalism. And when you pay somebody millions of dollars, you'd at least like him to expect him to be professional. I would think.
Yeah. Like, AB was, he was given latitude because when it was time to perform, he went out there and performed. He always made himself available for the team and, kept his antics under wrap. But once they started to get out there, he started to not perform well, start to get out of control, start to be the AB we saw towards the end of Pittsburgh. Guess what? Ship him out of town. You have to get rid of him, and that's what happens. Like, you can be a head case, but don't want to let it affect the team, the locker room, your play. Once that happens, any team is going to get rid of you.
Yeah. Let's do scoot along, Mike. A few more. Let's go right here to Mark Collins. Please don't give up on Johnson. He's a darn good back. I have no problem with Caleb Johnson at this point. I think that he's going to get an opportunity to play under a different coaching staff now, where it seemed like last year they kind of, for whatever reason, again, he was a rookie. So, maybe he just didn't get the playing time that he wanted, or maybe we wanted to see. So we'll keep our eye on Caleb. I think he's going to be fine, Mike. I didn't see anything that I loved, but I didn't see anything I hated either. You made a rookie mistake. You know what? That happens. I have no problem with that ball hitting him in the end zone. And again, it was I'm still cool with him. I'm still cool with Johnson. Let's go here. Christine 100 Ryan. Tortilla says, oh, shoot, I said Jamal's magic word. Cody and GP could actually catch the ball. Let's go here. Tyrone, that's because he acts like a child and they was sick of his shit. I think that's the difference. It's that professionalism, the maturity. And I'm not saying George Pickens is a bad guy. He just didn't play it smart. Some things you got to use your brain. And I wish him the best. I'll put it right there. I wish him the best. Let's go to Tortilla. He says Cody smells blood. Somber. I agree, Mark. We'll see if he can find a role. Tyrone says they pay Watt. They will pay JPJ. Let's go right here to, and JPJ is still a young guy. You got to pay him. For Watt to even be getting this money, I think is crazy. But that's a whole other story for a whole other day. Mark Malone says this. He says, make no mistake, they will let JPJ walk or trade him if Dean and Everett work out. Mark Collins says this, my only issue with the defense is the inside linebackers are not that good. Wilson is young, but other than thrifty. Hey, you know what? You're right. That's certainly an Achilles heel of this defense. And, we've seen it last year. The middle five guys, say what you want about Cam. A lot of people put him in a higher echelon than I think that he belongs. You didn't have Derek Harmon in there. I thought that middle of the defense was certainly susceptible, Mike, as again, Buffalo ran for over 200 yards against us at home, getting the Steelers booed, Mike Tomlin booed. We all remember the game. So that middle linebacker, inside linebacker, it's a big thing. There's either going to be some stepping up, which there may be. Patrick Queen has talked about just under the new defense. He's going to be able to play the defense that he's more comfortable with, which is a good thing. And then Peyton Wilson in yet another year, Mike, another year along. I'm hoping we see that improvement on the inside linebackers.
Yeah, and hopefully the D-line play up front, you hope Day can help improve that. The growth of Derek Harmon, hopefully the growth and development of Wyatt Black, it can help that as well. In the new scheme, too, that they might employ up front will help those linebackers fly around it and make plays.
Absolutely. I'm going to scoot up here a little bit here. I'm going to come to Cody. Cody says maybe a fourth, considering we got a third for GP. He's JPJ, hands down worth whatever he wants. Tyrone, JPJ takes out wide receiver ones every game, 95.3 coverage. And that's the thing. Can you trade a guy? Can you get rid of a guy that has not given up a touchdown? I just don't think that you can. You can't.
Like,
and then you're going to turn around and look for a guy that's worth it's a good cornerback in the draft. You have him. As a matter of fact, you have one that's never given up a touchdown. What's the problem?
Yeah, like
pay the guy.
The most logical move here is you trade Highsmith or cut him in the off season, and then hopefully you by then that's going to free up the space for you once these extension kicks in on these guys. You sign Porter to an extension and have a kick in next year. Don't give him any upfront money this year, or Herbig, however you do it, because you're going to hopefully get Cam's contract off the book. Hopefully you're going to get Highsmith's contract off the book. That's going to free up money to sign those guys. And guess what? You have young guys on the D line to fill up another spot. And then you have Herbig taking over a Highsmith spot. Then you have Sawyer taking over Herbig's backup spot. Then you can draft another edge to be the backup behind Watt. Problem solved. This should be very fucking easy. But will the front office see it that way? Will the coaching staff see it that way? Will the owner see it that way?
All right, let's go here. Mark High first. We're definitely trading him. Ty, I'm glad you're not GM. Mark Malone. we'd have 7 Lombardis now. We scoot up a little bit here. Christine, AB worked his ass off. One of the best wide receivers in the NFL ever. Pickens doesn't. Yeah, you're right. The thing was, he was a nut, but the guy worked his ass off. And listen, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure George Pickens works his ass off too, but I don't know. What's the difference, Mike? What's the difference between those two guys?
AB did it consistently game in, game out at a high level and did not start publicly acting and on the sidelines acting like this, the way GP was, till later in his career. And GP was fined what we found out, like $100,000 for missing practices, late to meetings, antics behind the scenes in his rookie year alone. Like, say what you will about AB, but for the longest time of his tenure here, he was always like the guy that was showing up early, staying late, working harder than everyone else, not doing anything to disrupt the team. His big thing was, doing the excessive celebrations. That was the big knock on AB, was he did these excessive celebrations and wanted to be called Mr. Big Chest. Okay, cool. He wasn't getting fined behind closed doors and stuff the way George Pickens was.
And he didn't get real bad until he was gone either. Remember? I mean, he was walking off of teams, off on teams, taking his shirt off, walking off the field. That wasn't in Pittsburgh, Mike.
His biggest thing was like once he started filming after like in the playoffs and we beat someone and Tomlin's giving that speech to the team saying, hey, let's bring the Patriots down here and we're going to beat their asses, which is what you say behind closed doors. But AB filmed it and then posted it and it gone out there. That was the beginning of the downfall. It was like, you broke that the trust of the locker room by doing that. Then more of his antics came out. He got jealous of the success of Juju. And those couple things led him out the door. Then, like you said, man, after that, it just completely went off the rails for him.
All right, so what I'm going to do, Mike, I'm going to grab a couple more here, and then I'm going to start to send it over to you. Let's go to right here. Ty says, great show, you bastards. We appreciate you as always, my friend. Great show to you as well. Mark Collins says, I believe the Steelers should go sign Christian Wilkins. If his foot is healthy, he's a beast in the run game. Cody says, I'm having too much fun today. Tortilla says, no wet willies in the locker room. And Mark Collins says, AB was the man until the cheap shot to the head. Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website?
Head on over to the 2dumbyinzers.com. Check it out, everyone over there. Got the links to all of Ryan and I's social medias. We got the links to the merch stores. We got updated daily, the top news stories of the day, of what's going on with your Pittsburgh Steelers and that. Just check it out at the 2dumbyinzers.com.
All right, time to get into trivia question for the day, Mike. It's just so weird. We were doing the trivia for the draft for so long. It's weird now because I just my mind automatically assumes, all right, start looking for draft questions, Mike. But that's not the case. It's time. We're going to talk about our visitor who's coming to town. Mike, flying in today, of course, Aaron Rodgers. We're assuming that he's going to be our quarterback for the 2026 season. So this question, Mike, is going to be about him in first seasons. Put your thinking cap on. Everybody on the board, everybody at home, put your thinking caps on as well. Here we go. We all know that Aaron Rodgers accumulated 10 wins in his first season with the Pittsburgh Steelers. In his first season with the Green Bay Packers, did Aaron Rodgers accumulate 10 points? More or less is basically what I'm saying. Was it higher or lower than the 10 points or the 10 wins he got here in Pittsburgh with his first season with the Steelers? Mike, in his first season with the Packers back in 2008, was he able to accumulate more or less wins in his first season with Green Bay?
Damn.
It's either more or less, Mike. It was not the same amount. I'm going to give you that hint.
Yeah.
Take a minute to think it over, guys. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30, even 3 o'clock p.m., as you see today, right here on the tube.
On the tube.
Mike, a lot of people were saying lower on the board. Again, we all know that Aaron had 10 wins last year in his first year as a quarterback for the Steelers. But I'm going to go all the way back to 2008. As a rookie, did he manage to get more or less than 10 wins in his first season with the Packers? Less, as Christine is saying on the board. Ty is saying less on the board. I do want to say what's up to Steel Loyal. Nice seeing you. Hope you're doing well. He's saying less. Mike Tortilla is saying less as well. Everybody unanimously across the board is saying that he did less. He had managed less wins than 10 in his first season as a Packer quarterback. His first season as a Steeler, he got 10. His first season as a Packer, was it more or was it less? It's not even. That's my hint for you. It was not 10 wins. It was either more or it was less. Mike, what's your thought process?
2008. That was his rookie year?
Yes.
Less.
And you're going to go less as well.
Yep.
So it's safe to say everybody agrees. Nobody thinks that he's going to go more, that he got more than 10 wins. All right.
Yep.
Fair enough, Mike. Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
All right. Let me lock you in. You are locked into place. Steel Loyal says they went 6-10. I know because of the documentary. LOL. Christine says I think he had maybe 6 or 7 wins his rookie season. Guys, question of the day. We all know that Aaron Rodgers accumulated 10 wins in his first season with the Pittsburgh Steelers. My question of the day is this: how many wins did he accumulate in his first season with the Packers? Of course, as a rookie back in 2008. Everybody's saying it's less than 10. More or less than 10 is the question. Not one person said above, and not one person is incorrect, guys. That is the correct answer. It was a 6-10 season as a rookie, Mike. And this year, last year was 10-6 Of course, he didn't lose that game to the Bears. So 10-6 in his first year with the Steelers. 6-10 is his first year with the Packers. It's a great job.
Look at 4,000 yards that year.
He did. He had a nice season.
Yeah.
4,000 yards as a rookie. So, I mean, you could say this team could have possibly did it. But, Mike, everybody got it correct. Everybody said lower. So, great job on that, everybody. A few things before we do start getting ready to wrap it up for the day. I do want to say this. Aaron Rodgers is coming to town. It's time to celebrate, everybody. Stop by and get some Duquesne Pilsner, Mike. And now available at Giant Eagle in 6 and 12 packs and wherever cases are sold. The people with Duquesne Pilsner always do us good, Mike. They always help us with all their promotions. They include us and such, so we like to give it back to them. Do stop, grab yourself some Duquesne Pilsner. If you don't drink, that's fine. Go over to their social media and do hit the follow, hit the like, all that kind of stuff. Mike, show them some love over at Duquesne Pilsner because they certainly do for us as well. We always have Duquesne Pilsner here on tap at the studio for every occasion, Mike. Made right here in Pittsburgh. Duquesne Pilsner says on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke, and that is Vanilla Thunder's favorite beer. Drink of choice on game day, brother.
Always with the Scarlet in the house today. I see, Mike, you're rocking the Scarlet, looking good. Also, while you are on the internet checking out Duquesne Pilsner, swing by and check out the Two Dumb Yinzers as well. We're all over the internet, guys. Swing by and check us out at Facebook, X formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, even TikTok. Swing by and keep up with what the Two Dumb Yinzers are up to on a day-to-day basis. And finally, if you haven't had a chance yet, do hit the like button down below. Hit the like, hit the sub, share, even leave a comment. It all helps in the algorithm, guys. We appreciate it all. Thank you so much. I'm just going to grab Tyrone here. Tyrone says, here we go, Steelers with the Rockets. I haven't seen Aaron Jade in a while, but I do know that Tyrone, he's picking up the flag, Mike, and he's continuing on as they used to do like in the war. Remember, like a guy that carried the flag, he'd get shot. The next guy would pick it up. Tyrone has certainly picked up the flag, and he's carrying it. I hope everything is okay with Aaron. Aaron Jade, of course, longtime regular on the show. Mike, your thoughts on today's show?
Aaron Rodgers swooping back into town on the Ayahuasca Express got me so excited, brother. I'm glad that the drama is nearing an end. I will be so pissed if he leaves without signing a contract, but that would be the most Aaron Rodgers-esque move ever. And, if he doesn't sign that contract, all right, rock with one of the young guys and let's go with it. But it's nice to see that we are almost done with the Rodgers saga.
I think the writing's on the wall. I mean, come on. As you said, Aaron Rodgers, he's coming to town. He's on his way. He's here to talk. It's rookie weekend. Rookie camp starting tomorrow. Mike, the OTA starting not Monday, but the following Monday. It just seems like it's happening. Again, the writing is on the wall. I'll be very surprised if Aaron Rodgers gets back on the plane and leaves without nothing getting done. So I couldn't agree with you more with that, Mike. Also, I do want to say we'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to talk about Aaron, how everything went. Of course, we don't know what time he's going to be meeting, but we'll certainly be a topic of interest tomorrow as rookie camp is starting. And Mike, again, just a little over a week from the OTA. So a lot going on with the Steelers in this offseason. We're moving our way into mid-May, which again is not a bad thing, Mike. We have the Steelers in about 2 months in camp. After that, August, that's full of preseason. We're going to get a good look at a lot of the younger players, which I'm certainly interested in seeing what a lot of the youngsters can do in preseason. So we got all that coming up, Mike. Also tomorrow we get all of our sports here in Pittsburgh. We'll touch on all that, getting ready to head into a busy weekend here in the Burgh. Let me grab. I think like I said, I am going to read every message. If I didn't get yours live on the show today, I do want to apologize. I want to say thank you and welcome to everybody. I see new faces, new names today, and everybody, of course, the regulars. I do want to say thank you as well. You guys are awesome. I want to say thank you so much for coming and hanging out and checking us out. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you guys. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to everybody on the board. You guys always keep things interesting, and you guys are the lifeblood of this show. Don't you forget it. We always say it, but we always mean it, guys. Thank you so much. And everybody as well at home, maybe you're in the car, in the gym, at work, wherever the case may be, watching, listening, we thank you too. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to do it all over again. Get ready to head into the weekend. And also, Somber, don't forget tomorrow. Tomorrow will be our Throwback Thursday. We'll come in with some clean-shaven faced pitchers tomorrow. Somber and I will take a look at that and see all the beauty right here on the show. I do want to say thank you to Christine. She says, great show. Have a wonderful day. You too, man. We appreciate you, and everybody else. Thank you so much. Mike, anything before we roll?
Great show, everyone. I can't wait to do this again tomorrow.
All right, we'll be back. We hope to see everybody then. Guys, thank you so much again. Really, thank you. Everybody have a safe Thursday. Check out the Buccos, Mike. They are wrapping up their series today with the Diamondbacks. It's a 3:45 starting here within the hour. The Pirates, Diamondbacks, Pirates trying to get that series win. We'll be back tomorrow with that. So much more. We hope to see everybody then. Mike, coming around to you. Speak now, forever hold your peace. All right, my friend. Thank you so much, everybody, for RB, for Chop, for Derpy, for Finch, Mike, myself, the two dumb Yinzers. Have a great Thursday, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.